Gentlemen, start your engines.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Virtual World Center of Racing, Daytona International Speedway, and the site of the first points race for the new NASRA Cup Series, presented by Premier Racing Setups. Tonight is the NASRA 250, presented by, of course, TLC Incorporated. We're live at Daytona after weeks of preliminary action with the Clash and the Duels. The field is ready for the big show here tonight. 250 miles, a century grind, 100 laps around this 2.5-mile Daytona International Speedway. I'm Wesley Outland. Stephen Bartlett is alongside, and Dean Hopton is on production as well as color commentary. Let's take a look at the starting lineup as these drivers do get into position for the race. Obviously, I actually thought it was Veal on the front row. The lineup might need to be changed up. We might need to work on the lineup here, so it looks like it actually is incorrect. So maybe we can fix it up again here in a second. But actually, it's Veal. No, your pole machines were the drivers of Veal, Greg Veal, and Andrew Alzuski was the front row. The field will be ready to roll off of pit road here in just a moment, and we'll get ready to go for the race. Let's take a look real quickly at the race analysis for tonight's event here at Daytona as these guys do get into position. There's the lineup officially. We'll give it to you again in just a moment. They are using the next gen car, which is the Gen 7 car. It is the Stage 1, 20 laps, caution at the end of the stage. Another 30 laps to Stage 2. That'll take us to halfway. And then 50 laps to make it a 100-lap race. And, Steven, obviously, man, we're ready to see an exciting race. A lot of people have been excited about what this Cup Series will provide. And, obviously, we're ready to see some history made here in just a moment, my friend.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to this. We're finally getting the season underway. We're now our third week at Daytona and our last week for a while. I'm not sure if they'll return later to the season to Daytona, but really looking forward to this. Some white knuckle racing, door to door, and bumper to bumper.
Take a look at the starting lineup. Greg Veal is on the pole. Andrew Alzuski, row number 1. Justin Clapper, Brian Chu, row number 2. By the way, they were the dual winners last week. Then, of course, you add into the mix of Bo Tiffany, Brandon Schumann, Brandon Broadfoot, Bo Condon, Chase Albright, your top 10. You'll see the rest of the names on the scoring ticker like Murray, Burleson, Walton, all in this mix, along with Smith, Wigginton, your top 15, Jacob Reeves, Craig Shepsis, Matthew Garrett, Jonathan Cofield, Jackson Wade. Right now, your top 20. In the back of the pack, you'll find starting 21st, Cody Knott, Matt Holmes, row 11, row 12, Nicholas Tomlinson, and Bobby Grant. Michael Larch, Jeff Burke, row 13, followed by Tyler Truex, Carl Burke, and Thomas Aaron and Steven Lachinsky will make up your top 30 starters. Damian Neeson, Keith Bradley in the back on row 16, Jonathan Barker, Brandon Bullock, Dean Gagliano, and Joshua Corner is your lineup for this race, counting also Buzzy Mongold. And it looks like they're going to make one more lap, Dean Hopton, around Daytona. And we're getting ready to feel the thunder of the NASRA Cup Series for their first points race at Daytona next time by.
Yeah, you're right. And thank you, everybody, for your patience as well, too. We do not know, us up in the booth, who won this race. It's already been, obviously, it's happened a little bit earlier there, but if you're tuning in live and you're watching it for the first time, please don't, no spoilers alert out there in the chat. And this is actually a great opportunity too, Wesley and Steve, that the drivers can actually watch the race that they just participated in and sit back and enjoy it.
We hear so many times they talk about going back and checking out the replay. So now actually officially, pardon the pun, you can now, Steven, see the replay live in real time while we're calling it. Again, we have not seen anything involving the race. We were having technical issues at the drop of the green flag. We quickly made the subconscious decision after talking with Justin White and the powers that be, or Jason White. Let's go ahead and transition into a recorded event. So again, Steven, we don't know anything that's going on. You might have gave me an update of, hey, there's 25 laps to go. Hey, they're going to overtime, blah, 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 or something of that nature. But as far as anything of knowing when the race is or who won it or how it comes out, we do not know, as we're about to see the green flag fly here.
No, we do not. I had the race on my computer, but I had that screen blacked out. All I had was a little app that said what lap they were on, so I can keep track and let everybody know what's happening. But yeah, none of us know what's going to happen as soon as this green flag.
War Room chimes in and he says, all I'm going to say is the driver in the field is going to win this race. I love the sarcasm, War Room. Thank you so much. And ladies and gentlemen, it is time. Pace car gets ready to drop onto the pit lane. The field makes their way to the TLZ restart zone for the official start of the NASRA Cup Series. Green is in the air. We're racing at Daytona.
Crossing the start-finish line, getting ready to turn into turn one. Andrew Alzewski in the lead, Justin Clapper, Brian Chu, all in the mix right there. And it looks like Andrew Alzewski's going to have some connection problems possibly as he blinks in and out.
Yeah, Alzewski got a problem in that FedEx number 11 Toyota. Got a little bump there for a second by Brian Chu as they work the outside lane. Hard to believe, Dean Hopton. This is lap number one. It looks like it's the last lap of the race going to turn three.
Absolutely going for a hard and fast course. This is Daytona, and it's the first points round, remember, as well, on top of that, gentlemen. So this is where it starts to count now. All your dress rehearsals are over. The main show is here right now, and they are going for it too for now, exploring his track limits.
Yeah, they're going at it big time, almost 3 wide behind the leaders. There's a look at the track weather conditions here just after 7:16 Eastern time, approaching 9-mile-per-hour wind speeds. Track temp is at 77 degrees. We're going to watch that throughout the night. We're already at nighttime, and they're on the back straightaway there, Steven.
Coming down the back straightaway, most of them now look like they have single filed out. Got a couple of 2x2, but not many. Waiting for this outside line to pick up and some of the cars to go up there and give these bottom guys some challenge.
Late night NASRA coverage here at Daytona. Working in the corner, it's Bo Tiffany now. He's got a trunk full of the front nose of the Toyota, number 51 of Brian Chu behind him. It's like a two-car tandem, if you will. Dean, as they work up the banking into turn number one, that's 31 degrees.
Yes, the telemetry has gone absolutely whacked over the place. So maybe it's not just me as well that's been occurring with that issue, because that may have been a server issue that's done that, because we're doing it from a replay file.
Yeah, we're watching them still stay in tow to the back straightaway, and it's still Ozulski. Yeah. Alzewski's the car that's having the technical issue. So right now he's finally popped back into the 5th spot. As right now we watch these guys work their way into the corner. It is now Truex up in front. That's the driver, Tyler Truex from Mayetta, New Jersey. Corning, New York driver originally, now from Mebane, North Carolina. Bo Tiffany right behind him. And how about this, Steven? Everybody right now is being patient, working back into turn one.
Yeah, when we look at the cars themselves, it looks like the leader is actually Bo Tiffany.
Exactly. Yeah.
With Tyler, with Brian Chu right behind him. Tyler Truex just dropped off the board. I don't know where he went, but yeah, it looks like we're having some issues still.
Let us know out there in the chat too if this was something that was occurring live during the race, because I was just having a troubleshoot all the time anyway, so I didn't know if it was anything like that occurred. But this is from a recording from a replay file from Cody. Cody Knott, who was in the race as well too. So
yeah, I want to say thank you to Cody Knott and Jason White and the powers that be behind the NASRA Cup Series for getting us this broadcast file. We will press on as best as we can right now, but the race rolls on with now a new leader. It is Jackson Wade and Keith Bradley going at it, the two-time Cops Truck Series champion, looking for the lead in the Cup Series here, Stephen, off two.
Jackson Wade looks like he's up in the front now. Jeff Merck, Keith Bradley, Justin Clapper, Matt Holmes with, I believe that's Jeff Merck on the top outside, on the outside lane up in the lead there, trying to take the lead away from Jackson Wade.
Big thanks, by the way, to Premier Racing Setups. They're a partner of the NASRA Cup Series as they thunder back across the line. You got 5 laps in, 95 to go. And now another former series champion of the Cops Truck Series, Jeff Merck now, Dean, shows his sights up on the top shelf to the lead. Battles with Wade. Clapper, the dual winner in the mix with Bradley as they race door to door off two.
And Wesley, the only downside, of course, is that Jeff Merck cam that we love to see that we generally do. He did have his cam too available for the live broadcast, but unfortunately, because we couldn't with the technical issues, we couldn't. So we're going to miss out on Jeff Merck's reaction. His face, his concentration levels through the roof. He's got a nose ahead of Jackson Wade.
Here they come off of turn 4, 2 by 2 by 2 by 2, almost 7. 8 rows deep. That's 18 cars in a pack, side by side, battling up the banking now, Stephen, as they go into turn 1 on lap number 6.
I just wanted to mention that we found some interesting information that Tyler Truex in this race is really the cousin to Martin Truex Jr. and Ryan.
Oh, yes, Martin Truex Jr., Ryan Truex, and of course, cousin is Mr. Truex out here on the racetrack of Tyler Truex, and keep an eye on him. I know I've already kind of got in the ear of talking with Martin about the possibility of maybe trying to run some NASRA stuff with us or running some events with his cousin. He is no stranger to being on iRacing, so you never know, especially with him retiring full-time in the NASCAR Cup Series at the end of the year. Merck, though, now the new leader up in front. He leads them now. Clapper second. He's on the inside, throwing the block on Wade. Dean is there door to door, and they're almost contact for the lead going to 2.
Ooh, it's getting spicy and dicey. They're bad out of the gates, of course, because it's the first round of true points. And we've got some chat out there. I'm going to get a read through there. But I haven't seen 3 wide just yet, gentlemen. Just yet. But don't say nothing as yet.
No, not yet. I got a feeling it's coming. Just right now, we're kind of filling each other out, watching how these guys are working their way around the racetrack, just kind of seeing what their car is going to do, working inside, working outside, just holding their line. Nobody doing anything aggressive at the moment. Jeff Merck, the driver, leads the way. The Floridian there in the number 60. Here comes the new name, the GM Goodrich colors, number 13, and Murray up into the safer barrier. This opens the door now, Stephen, for the number 63, a Clapper to go to the lead off 2.
Yeah, Clapper takes over the lead as we're watching what happened to Brendan Murray. Brendan Murray now on that outside behind Jeff Merck in that second spot, and Justin Clapper right behind him.
Right now, here comes the battle
line.
working.
Wow.
Yes, sir. Look at that inside lane coming to formation. Dean, you just kind of hinted on it, and we're watching it now as Clapper powers to that top spot. Got some help with Wade behind him. So is also Bradley in tow, and you've also got Holmes in that mix, and they're going to stack them up 2 by 2 up the banking as they work off of the corner end of 3 and 4.
I want to let you know, why did, this is interesting, the one for you, Steve. Justin Clapper, of course, he went up to the inside line, got the overtake done, in the lead of this race at the moment, and he goes back up to the high side. Why not stick down to the inside line there? Why did he change?
I would say he changed because he saw that outside line working. He went up there, got up in front of Merck, and is letting Merck push him to stay out in the front. As you see, his lead has gotten a lot bigger since he jumped up there.
Look at him working through the tri-oval. 2.5 miles. Working that 31 degrees of banking into the corners, exactly into 1 and 2, same into 3 and 4. that 3,000-foot back straightaway known as the Daytona Super Stretch. Look at him coming off of the banking, off the gyro cam. You can see how banked it is there, Dean.
Yeah.
And you can see now on board with Jonathan Cofield. That's on the bottom of the racetrack. That's not up in the high groove. Let's keep that gyro cam on as they climb the banking to 3.
Oh, you're going to make me tilt to the left here, gentlemen. Look at that. I am tilting my head to the left. Oh, it's a natural reaction that you do. That's like a roller coaster ride, eh? It's Daytona. It is a roller coaster ride.
Just staying right in line as here they come, working through the tri-oval to the stripe. 11 laps in. By the way, remember, stage number 1 goes all the way to lap number 20. And right now, this is the smart thing they need to do here, Stephen. Stay in line, hold your line, don't be aggressive. Okay, maybe that's a little aggressive right now between Clapper and Merck, but you notice how they quickly got disassembled and get right back in formation. It's not the right time right now to start fighting and clawing and possibly wrecking. You got stage points on the line, I know, but let's get to at least 2 laps to go before you get greedy for those top 10 spots.
Yeah, these guys, they're getting ready to go in complete lap 12, going to lap 13. I would say probably after the completion of lap 15, they'll start getting a little aggressive, trying to fight for those points. It is too early right now, but this is a 2.5-mile track. These cars are drafting, bump drafting. It's a little harder to pass. So I would expect about 5 laps to go, they'll start getting aggressive.
Back straight away.
That car, sorry, gentlemen, as you saw, taking the inside apron and then completely getting out of Justin Clapper and Jeff Merck's way. Jeff Merck's not going to give Justin Clapper a little bit more push. When push comes to shove, then the 60 says, all right, I gave you enough. Merck's out in front.
Yeah, he's not done yet. He gave him a little shot there for just a moment, and then he kind of backed away again as we work our way back down into the corner again. Look at this, through the tri-oval on the inside. Luke Smith now, the new leader. I got a feeling, my goodness, Stephen, we've had at least 8 to 10 lead changes by leaders just up in the front in the opening 14 laps. Phenomenal.
Well, and that's the way these super speedways run. I mean, you can start in the back, and 8-9 laps later, you're in the front. It's just how they work. I can't really explain it, but that was like in the not the duels, but the one before that. We saw a lot of lead changes in that one too.
Merck, Smith, Clapper, Cofield, Wade, and now Luke Smith now going to power back on the bottom to go to the lead along with Clapper. He's going to carry also Cofield in that 58 machine. And look at all these guys right there in line as it's time to get to the end of stage number 1. Remember, the Serve Pro caution, Dean, will come out at the end of stage 1. And obviously, for the first time ever, stage points on the line for the NASRA Cup Series to determine who's going to be up in the opportunity to go for a championship whenever we reach the end of the rainbow at season's end for this inaugural season.
Yep, I'm saying Under the Rainbow. I was thinking of that song. Jeff Merck up. Well, I'm going to ignore the position gains and losers at the moment there because it's not 100% accurate because of the way that the replay file works. But Jeff Merck on Justin Clapper, Luke Smith, Brandon Murray there at Thomas Aaron. We've got some new names in here, gentlemen, and they've certainly got some punch around here in Daytona. And as you said, those are getting down at the moment, about 3 or 4 to go. Stage break. Who wants it? Easy. Just jump out and grab it. It's right there.
Got to jump out and grab it, but you got to be patient as well, Stephen. You've been in this battle before for something of this caliber. Definitely got to make sure you hit your mark, but you got to know when to do it, and obviously don't make any mistakes doing it as well.
Yeah, you got to be aggressive now to get those stage points, but like you said, you can't get too aggressive. You don't want to wreck anybody or even wreck yourself. I'm kind of surprised that third line hasn't matured yet as we get closer to the end of the stage. Everybody's playing nice still. Kind of surprising, really.
Justin Clapper looking inside and outside. Got Murray behind him. Holmes locked to the bottom. And there is Smith in the lead. There's from the lead camera. How about that for Mr. Bob Carr? and TLC Incorporated, one of our newest partners here. And we're going to go side by side now as look at this. Cofield up the outside. Merck right there along for the battle as they're closing in for that off of turn 4.
Thank you very much for allowing me to know. I barely hear my microphone. Whoa, I might be too loud now. But yeah, thank you very much.
Barely hear you, Dean. I barely hear you, Dean.
Hear me.
It's okay, I'm still here.
Jonathan Caulfield in the lead. Look at that. They've got a little bit of a gap now, Stephen. Back to Luke Smith. So you've got to catch him pretty quickly right now because you're running out of time. Stage break's coming.
Yeah, gotta catch them all like Pokemon, Stephen, as the time is running out with 3 to go in stage 1.
Yeah, usually when there's a big gap like that, it won't take long for them to catch up to each other. Now they're going to start to form up that third lane in the middle. Will start getting interesting now. And you were more correct than I was, Wes. They're on lap 18 now, 2 to go this time around.
Oh,
yeah,
there you
working
go.
off that corner, and here we go for just a moment. Gonna stick it 3 wide as they work through the tri-oval off turn 4. Merck up high, Clapper on the bottom. This is now a little slingshot engaged there for Wade. He's trying to go 2 for 1. Also, throw in the mix Aaron's car in the middle, the green and white 63. And they're not done yet, Dino, climbing the bank and off 2.
This is crunch time right now because you've only got a lap or so in handful. They're starting to slice and dice the fence as well, too. We are going to see 3, perhaps. Anybody going to open up that middle lane? Yes. You asked and they shall receive. And that's Thomas Anderson, I think, for the 93. Yes, it is. He's going for it. This is going to be a photo finish, gentlemen.
3 wide, guys. 3 by 3. Hold it together as they got a little organized from the dirty air. Here comes now Condon up the middle. Here goes the 96 Wade up top. They're going to come thundering down to the line. 3 wide for the lead as they come to the line. 1 to go now, Stephen, in stage 1 here at Daytona.
Yeah, now we're really going to start seeing a lot of jostling in the lines. Cars going every direction, trying to get into that position into the top 10 for the stage points.
Look at Jeff.
There
Merck
you
now.
see.
Wow.
There you see Merck staying up in front. You kind of hit it on that just a moment ago, Dean. But behind them, look at him frantically trying to get in one of those 10 spots. Yeah, we see Trump on the rear end of the car up in front. I love it. I love it, Merck. Merck proudly showing his political colors, if you will. Wade Murray alongside. Here they come, working off turn 4 with the help of Donald Trump, giving him a push to the line. They get sideways. Cars are crashing, coming to the finish. Give Jeff Merck stage 1 in the NASRA Cup Series. Behind them, though, we have got a couple of cars crash. We got a, excuse me. We got a couple of cars crashing.
We got a commentator just crashed.
1. Yeah. I'm sorry.
You're right, Wes. We got a commentator down.
I'm fine, guys. I just
You're
I
right,
was
Wes?
yeah, I just was just
Excited.
choking on my lifesavers there for a second. Drivers crashing, including Jonathan Cofield, Justin Clapper, Chase Albright, going off track here at the end, Stephen, of stage number 1.
Let's go back and have a look at it. We have to do this so early, unfortunately, for the replay, gentlemen. Because we're using a replay file, so we can't really go to live.
Here it is.
Yeah.
Okay, that might be going a little bit too far. So
yeah, that was too far.
Let's put it back in, fast forward, maybe a little bit more. Get to the back straightaway, and then right about here. Okay, Steven, set it up for us now as they're coming to the end of stage number 1.
Yeah, they're all coming out of turn 4 now. They're all kind of...
Yeah, it's behind, isn't it?
Yeah, the 49 got spun. I couldn't tell. It happened too quick. I couldn't tell what caused him to do that. If he got
that's Albright
into the right.
That's Albright in the turn in the grass there, guys, the 49.
Yeah, I'm not sure if the 49 got clipped on the right fender or if he moved down into there. It kind of happened fast. I really couldn't see it.
Yeah, you need to find, Dean, the car number 49. I think that's Albright, actually. Albright's car. He was the one that kind of got loose there for just a second, and there you see him spinning, crashing. Condon got a piece of it, but he was able to continue as well.
Here it is.
And there you see them into the grass off the corner here last time around. There's Albright, look up high. Condon into the left rear, slams into the dual winner of Clapper, and cars into the grass right there as we wrap up the end of stage number 1 at Daytona. Wow. Steven, what do you think? First stage, it was going to be like this. Obviously, Jeff Merck Former NASRA Truck Series champion, the Floridian, right there from Punta Gorda, Florida, is the inaugural winner of the NASRA Cup Series for Stage 1.
Yeah, that's exciting to see Jeff up there. It's been a while. He had a bit of a decent run Monday night with the DSR Electric Truck Series, but to see him win a stage here at Daytona is good. That's he could use those points and hopefully stay ahead of some of these guys as the season goes on.
The PGR IBC Esports number 960 machine had his teammate right there behind him right there, actually, of Jackson Wade 2, pushing each other to the end of Stage 1. Murray, Aaron, Condon, Johnson, Cofield, Smith, Chu, and those drivers also join Keith Bradley at the end of Stage 1. We'll take a break from Daytona, and we'll get you ready for the Glass Mechanics Stage 2 next after a word from TLC Incorporated. This is Late Night from Daytona. This is the NASRA Cup Series.
In a distant kingdom, in a magical realm, there lived people who faced dreadful drainage problems on their lawns. For many years, they suffered from puddles and mud in their yards. Until one day, the saviors from TLC Company appeared with their magical shovels and lifted the wet curse from the kingdom's residents. Forget about puddles and mud. With us, your yard will become a genuine fairy tale nook. Call us right now, and let's transform your drainage concerns into a magical adventure. TLC, where every home becomes a fairy tale.
Hey, Bob Carr here with TLC. You got a outdoor lighting, landscape lighting system. Maybe we installed it. Maybe it was there you inherited in your house and you want to upgrade it. Now's the time to give us a shout. We'll come out and take a look, evaluate what you do have, tell you what you could have. Give us a shout today for all your outdoor lighting needs. We'll talk to you soon.
Are you ready?
For Murph's Magical Creations. Home to custom laser engraving and gifts. This veteran-owned and operated company engraves for all occasions. If you want one of Murph's Magical Creations, call the number on your screen or commission through either Instagram or via email. Murph's Magical Creations, made with love for you.
Back here at Daytona International Speedway, working the first caution of the race at the end of stage number 1. We're getting ready for stage 2. It is presented by the Glass Mechanic. I'm Wesley Outland, Mr. Stephen Bartlett alongside Finkelstein Hopton on production as well as on color commentary. And yes, it is a NASRA late night. We're aware of that. This is from earlier this evening, but Stephen, those opening 20 laps were no doubt very exciting.
Yes, they were. Everybody kept it nice and clean. They were respecting each other. They were keeping their lanes like they were supposed to. And as we expect, the stage, there was a little bit of an accident there, but that's part of the stage racing.
Wesley,
Saw a couple of drivers come down to the pit lane. Obviously, Bo Condon is going to be the new leader as well with Jeff Murph, Bo Condon.
Yeah.
Wow, well, Bo Condon with a problem. The Baltimore, Maryland driver, as I just mentioned, was going to be the guy to lead to the green here. Dean, he's got a problem in the 25.
His pit stop was... Yeah, go ahead.
He's got the end of line.
Yeah.
He was the one that caused that wreck before the caution came out.
There you go. That's why he's got to go to the back. He's got the EOL penalty. That's right. So Bo Condon is now being scored with the EOL. So he was in the lead, but now he's got to go to the field to the rear. And now we'll get ready, Dean, for a restart here.
Yeah, I was just about to say, I was wondering, because he had a really short pit stop as well, too, about 8 seconds, so he didn't take much gas or no tyres or anything like that, and I was wondering what he was doing in a position, because Jeff Merkel, of course, was our stage break winner. And Jeff Merck's no slouch when it comes to pit stops, so you didn't see him making any mistakes. He should be in the lead of it. But Jackson Wade did beat him out of the pit stops by about 1 second.
Well, you got to remember, though, Condon got accused of being the guy that started the accident there, getting into the left rear of Albright's car, coming to the end of stage number 1 in the tri-oval. So, yes, Jonathan Cofield, you can cheer your own self on. You can cheer everybody else on as well. Obviously, this was a delayed broadcast from earlier tonight. Technical issues forced us from not being able to do it live, but with the powers that be and the great technology of NASRA, Jason White with the Cup Series, and Mr. Dean Hopton, we're able to bring it back to you a little bit later. Green flag back in the air. We're underway now in Glass Mechanics Stage 2 for the NASRA Cup Series, and now it's Merck and Wade going at it up the banking with Brian Chu in the mix now, Stephen to 1.
Yeah, Brian Chu right on the bumper of Jeff Merck. You know, and I've been watching Jackson Wade a little bit this evening too, and he needs to be a little careful when he's been pushing in those turns, and pushing in those turns is not a good idea. That can cause a wreck real quick. But he's out there in the lead on that bottom lane right now, just as the 93 of Thomas Aaron jumps out in front of him at the bottom.
And here they come, working off of turn number 3 and 4. Off of 4 into the tri-oval. Plenty of room there to make that move, to try to slingshot and try to go past somebody, but right now, just not the time for it. Jeff Merck, though, quickly back out in front in the NASRA 250, powered by TLC Incorporated. Thanks again to Bob Carr for being a partner with the TLC Incorporated and the Restart Zone sponsor and the garage. Right now, everybody on the racetrack still battling. Look at Brandon Broadfoot now getting into the top 5 as they work Dean to the back straightaway.
Yeah, here comes Brandon. He's going to take an inside lane there and take the opportunity. I'm quite sure if that is Brandon Bradford's number 22 machine livery. There might be a little livery problems at the moment, but he is elected to go on the inside. You should see the exit speed start picking up as it banks itself straight. And then you get a little bit of justification of the pace. As you can see, there he is at the moment up the road. Then Jeff Merck still leading just on your picture there. There's Jeff Merck getting a push from Brian Chu. It's all important about
a good field of drivers that are already behind the wall.
Steve, you got to get that push, don't you? I mean, Brandon needs that push from Thomas Aaron, which he's currently getting at the moment. Whoa! Is that Cody Knott electing to go? I'll just take that spot. You guys are sleeping here. You snooze, you lose, says Cody.
Boy, that could have been disastrous right there. Hold on to that, Stephen. Obviously, Cody Knott with a daring move on the inside. Broadfoot was also ready to pounce on him and licking his chops to go after it, but he thought better, backed away, and now that inside lane starting to struggle. We saw this a couple of weeks ago, Dean, if you remember. Stephen, we talked about it as well. The outside lane struggled. The inside lane was the preferred line. Now tonight, the outside lane is the way to go here at Daytona. Why is that?
A lot of different things. Could be the setup in the cars. It could be the track condition itself, the temperature. And yeah, tonight it seems like that outside lane, you always get a better run off the top lane anyways, because you're not having to turn the car as sharp into the turn. But usually we'll see the bottom lane kind of have a surge forward in the turns, and then the top lane coming out of the turns. But this top lane, it's been pretty strong ever since the restart.
By the way, as we mentioned, as you look at the weather up top, no changes. We're approaching 7:40 Eastern time. A little wind speed at 6-7 miles an hour. Track temp is still the same as we're in Glass Mechanic stage number 2. Look at Cody Knott now trying to power down on the bottom of that 31 degrees of banking. By the way, Daytona International Speedway. It is 2.5-mile tri-oval, 4.023 kilometers. 40 feet wide, 31 degrees of banking, 18 degrees in the banking on the straightaway and the back stretch as well. A 3,800-foot front stretch tri-oval, a 3,000-foot back straightaway known as the Daytona Super Stretch. And obviously, all of the opportunity that you can muster, taking advantage, is right here using every inch, Dean, of the virtual world center of racing. Is now Merck The Pied Piper right now, early in the race, is in the lead on the outside, but boy, Cody Knott's trying to get something going on the bottom in the one.
He did for a second there, almost nosed up to the front of this one, but it's that high line again, working well for the drivers. That's why they're committing to it. Jeff Merck, he's got plenty of space. He can drop down to the inside line anytime he wants, really. And Brian Chu's going to follow him, but it hasn't been elected to do that. Cody goes a little bit on the inside apron, drop it a lot of places at the moment, gentlemen.
Boy, drop it down like it's hot. Cody Knott below the double yellow line and somehow was able to stay right back in position and not lose groove or position on spinning the car. What a save there, Steven, because that could have been disastrous for the Madeira, California driver. And now he says, yeah, I'm going to go up to the top side now. I'm going to go up in the higher ground.
Yeah, he went up to the top as somebody else. I couldn't quite tell the car number. Maybe it's in front of Brandon. That green and white car came down just at the same time as Cody Knott went up. But it was kind of nice to see Cody Knott at the top in the front. We don't get to talk about him very much as we see Jacob Reeve now leading that bottom line.
Back straightaway into the corner. By the way, this stage will go to lap number 50. We're already on lap 30, NASRA Cup Series. From Daytona, you're on board with the door banging download number 57, entry out of Rome, Georgia. The redneck announcer, Jacob Reeves. He's got a trunk full of the Pexco machine of Larch in front of him. Gave him a little loose bump draft, if you will. They hold it together as they go into turn one, Dean.
Here we go. They're going to get the old Rome, Georgia man fired up because the 57 machine's firing up with 57 cylinders in that one. He is getting a nice push in the inside line. He's used it wisely. And now he's challenging up the front runners, still led by Jeff Merck.
Back straightaway into that third turn. Merck is committed, Steven, to the outside. Bartman, he ain't going nowhere. Brian Chu right there with him. By the way, Brian Chu, he's won here before at Daytona. He's in line right there in tow. So is also everyone else of Smith, Burke, Reeves. Look at them all now getting side by side. The first 7-8 rows back into turn one on lap 31.
Michael Lurch down there on the bottom with Jacob Reeves right behind him. They've been getting a really good push along with the, I believe that's the 53 of Carl Burke in the green and white car. Can't quite tell though.
It is. The Winamac Washington drivers in the mix in the 53.
So they've been working well together, staying even now with Jeff Merck and Brian Chu as they stay on the top.
Yeah, Kennewick, Washington is where Carl Burke's from. I said Winamac, my apologies. Kennewick, Washington State. One of the guys that I've known for many years, called a lot of his Northwest Racing Series events up in the Pacific Northwest for iRacing, and now branching out into other big series like NASRA. He is right there in the top 5 on the bottom of the racetrack. Now Merck losing ground, Dean. Here comes the driver. Larch looking to the lead for the first time tonight, and it's on the bottom of the racetrack as they hit the super stretch.
I like they're switching off to save a little bit of gas, save a little bit of fuel, and say, okay, you run up the front for a little bit, because you run up the front, you're busting all the dirty air there, so all the clean air, and you're just going to just drop like a stone there, because you just, it's like putting your hand out the window. Dogs like to put their tongue out the window and woof, but in this case, Jacob now has taken the lead. Jeff Merck's going to tuck in behind him. So they're going to start doing that switcheroo for a little bit, gentlemen, until that stage break comes up.
Yeah. Working out of the corner. It's kind of like what I just said in the dog. My dog, Chance, just started barking, hearing you talking about a dog with his tail out the window there, Dean. He just
Calm
said,
down, Dingo.
He just starts barking. There he goes again. You hear him? I guess it's the sound effects. I don't know. Anyhow, I digress. Jacob Reeves, the redneck announcer, Bartman, to the lead. He's the new leader here on lap number 33 at Daytona.
Yeah, teammates will do that a lot. They'll switch back and forth from leading and then following because like right now, Merck, his engine will heat up quite a bit because he doesn't have that clean air. And he might have worked something out maybe with Jacob Reeves to run together and switch off back and forth a little bit.
Yeah. Look at them work through the tri-oval now. Look at this up top now. Jacob Reeves, the new man up front. It's Merck in second, Brian Chu third, Here comes Luke Smith, the Waynesboro, Pennsylvania driver, proudly driving the Toyota for TLC Incorporated. And that car looks good down the back straightaway. Dean looking for the lead here at Daytona in stage 2 as they go to 3.
I'll tell you what, could water all that grass on the track and here at Daytona, because it's the TLC. They'll take care of all that water solutions that you need. Even cool the driver down of Luke Smith inside of that one, who's going to compromise a little bit more speed. Challenging up the front he was. And that's a good point. I never actually thought about that because there's a proper racing sim that we have here, there, Steve, that the cars will overheat if you're in the dirty air because you've got no cooling. Remember, they're cooled by air.
Yes. Yep. Yeah, they have to. And also that side draft, Stephen, can really cause the cars to get aggravated and really start to overheat too. So the reason why they're kind of riding in line and then they break apart is because they got to try to find that clean air to kind of cool the engine down.
Well, yeah, and if you notice that about a lap ago when Larch was making that run at the bottom, if you saw Merck, he kind of came down a little bit, took that side draft off of Larch, and that caused Larch to fall back.
Top 10, Jacob Reeves, Jeff Merck, Brian Chu, Jonathan Barker, Luke Smith, Bobby Grant, they flip-flop for 5th and 6th. Carl Burke, Michael Larch, Jonathan Cofield, and Jackson Wade. Glass Mechanics Stage 2. Hey, we're going to go side by side. We're still going racing, but we want to thank some of our partners, including TLC Incorporated and Premier Racing Setups. As we go side by side, you're not going to miss any of the action as down the back straightaway they go. Jacob Reeves, Jeff Merck, Brian Chu right there with one another, and Merck wants to go to the lead as we got one into the wall, almost into the wall, in trouble there. Jackson Wade, I believe Cofield might have got a piece of it, and it's the 2 car of Michael Larch that got the short end of the stick, Dean, but somehow we will stay green flag.
He's still in it. I was trying to see if there was anybody going to drop behind. Did you catch anything at all there, Steve? Because so far so good, but maybe just a little scrape. It'll buff it up.
And we are going to go under the caution flag, guys. They are going to call a caution. We got another spinner at the bottom of the racetrack in turn number 4, and this will trigger a caution here.
Let's go back and have a look at this one, gentlemen, real quick there, because we have the replay file to go from. Anybody going to catch who it was? Help us out in the chat too, by the way, because you guys were there.
So much for going for a side-by-side break. But that's the reason, though, Dean, what we have, Jacob, we have the side-by-side so you can be able to, to see the race in action and, you know, still be able to, you know, take care of our sponsors. But you can also see the action that's going on the racetrack. So that's putting us under the second caution of the race. It looks like Michael Larch and possibly the 16 of Jonathan. Is that Corner? I think it is. Joshua Corner might have got a piece of it. We'll find out. Look at
Damon. I think that they came. Oh, there. Yep.
Oh, wow. There you. Yeah.
Damon Nielsen. And there's a little bit of a blink as well too, so that caused that issue as well.
Beautiful looking race car right there.
Yeah,
just a beautiful looking car.
What about Most Magical
Creations? Get that unicorn.
Yes. Thanks to our sponsors, and we have a caution again. The Longmont, Colorado driver putting us under the yellow flag. Damian Neeson. We also saw Larch get into the wall. And honestly, Stephen, saved by the bell or saved by the Serve Pro caution is the Swamp Fox Motorsports number 2 Ford of Michael Larch, because honestly, he was falling back. He kind of fell back to 14th when the caution flag fell. Damian Neeson's like a lucky dog for him right now, for sure.
Yeah, I was really surprised as hard as Larch hit that wall there before the one that brought out the caution flag. He was able to keep it under control. Yeah, he lost a lot of spaces because of it, but he did a good job of keeping it under control as hard as he hit that wall.
Got a feeling pit road's going to open, Dean? Anybody going to come down, you think? Or are they psyching one another right now on lap number 30?
No, someone coming down. Yep, Luke Smith did. Jackson
Smith.
Wade, Brandon Bradford, Keith Bradley, Thomas. And just to go back to Damon Nielsen, I don't see him on the track. I was trying to click on the camera for him, but he's just not appearing. So there was some sort of internet issues there as well, too, from...
It says Neeson's out of the race. Yeah, it looks like we got drivers that are falling off this race from either having technical issues or literally getting out early or so.
You got to change the tires on Cody's car. That's right. You don't get to see that from a broadcast perspective.
That's right. Yes.
Wow. Come on, iRacing? Oh, I guess probably can't do that for 50 cars, so it's going to murder my computer.
Yeah, there you go.
Anyway.
You can see the pit stop. Next time that Cody and I comes down pit road, you show the show angle.
Cody, remind us what time are you going down next if you're watching the broadcast, so that we can get it ready.
And you've got the sound effects too, don't you, Dean?
No, not at the moment. No, I've got that. You've got it, Wes.
Never mind. The dog's barking again. That ain't gonna work.
Yeah, the dog's like, Wesley, it's time to take me for a walk right now. What are you doing broadcasting at midnight?
Daddy, your sound effects are scaring me. Whatever it is you're doing, so can't be doing the panting like a dog. So he doesn't like that, and he doesn't like the air gun sound effects. So
what about Starbase? Does he like Starbase comics?
I think a lot of people do. Let's go. Let's take it full screen and thank our sponsors. We're back for more Daytona in a moment. You're not missing anything. People were under caution. NASRA Cup Series Daytona, the NASRA 250, presented by TLC Incorporated, returns in a moment.
Are you ready?
For Murph's Magical Creations. Home to custom laser engraving and gifts. This veteran-owned and operated company engraves for all occasions. If you want one of Murph's magical creations, call the number on your screen or commission through either Instagram or via email. Murph's Magical Creations, made with love for you.
TLC is the best in lawn sprinklers, outdoor lighting, holiday lighting, yard drainage, and more. Let us take care of your project. Get your free, no obligation estimate from TLC today.
Hey, Bob Carr here with TLC. Hope you guys are enjoying this race. Let's take it down to the booth and get updated on what's going on.
Big thanks to Bob Carr, TLC Incorporated, and all the other partners that make it happen with NASRA and the NASRA Cup Series. I'm Wesley Outland, the Viking. Stephen Bartlett up late at night as well. It is it's a full moon. It's a full moon in California like it is in North Carolina, right? Right, Stephen? Full moon, full moon Wednesday night.
Well, I'm in Oregon, and of course we got clouds everywhere.
Oregon.
We got clouds everywhere like we normally do this time of year, so I don't know what the moon is doing.
Well, anyhow, it's a full moon in the Carolinas. It is 12:40 Eastern time on a Thursday morning, actually. So technically it is still, 9:41 p.m. over there, I believe. Anyhow, we're coming back to the TLC Incorporated restart zone. Get those water sprinklers looking nice and good as they get ready to come back to the box. We're back underway here as we go back to racing in stage number 2, presented by the Glass Mechanic. Is now down to under 10 to go, Dean, as they work into turn number 1, buddy.
Yeah, unfortunately, the little sprinklers won't work on the replay file because they look good. And that's for you, Bob. That was all for you. Jacob, well, the redneck announcer in the lead of this one. Jeff Merck's been everywhere in this race. Everywhere up the front is where Jeff Merck is, and it's looking good for him to perhaps win this race later on, or at least another stage break. And Jonathan Caulfield. We got it all happening here at the moment, and just see those race details for you again, boys and girls. Only 9 to go for stage 2.
Taking you all the way to lap number 50, which will also be the cross flags here of the NASRA 250, powered by TLC Incorporated, as they work off of turn number 4. Climbing. Oh, the leader, Jacob Reeves, sideways. He got turned into the pack. Somehow saved the car. More cars crashing. He got punted in the back. He slams the safer barrier. All Bright's in the grass. A couple other cars involved. And another Serve Pro caution for the 3rd time, taking out the leader on lap number 41.
That's got to be another caution, right, gentlemen? Let's have a look.
Wow.
What's happened here, Steve? As Merck got it in, he's turned. Merck's helping him here. But that helps turn pearl-shaped. And bingo, just like that.
Yeah, it looks like they were coming out of turn 4, and Merck, I think, got into him a little too early and turned him. But according to the race directors, there was no EOL given on this one, so they called it a racing incident, I guess.
Yeah, there it is. Just an exit speed.
There's
isn't
a look at it again.
Look how
at
much
this,
Jacob's
just
trying
coming
to
off
correct
the
it
corner.
too. Look at that correction.
Yeah, Jacob Reeves is fighting the wheel, man. And then all of a sudden, he got another punt right there. He thought he was clear. And then Bullock into the back end of the Chevrolet of Reeves. And then Cody Knott got slammed into him. Albright and some others went down into the grass. And there you go. And there you go. Another caution out. Third caution, by the way, if you're keeping count. I know that the ticker and the graphics that we usually have are not available. This is yellow flag number 3 here tonight so far on lap number 41 at Daytona.
Wow. So drivers out there are aware of, probably they can't remember what happened back on lap 42 or 102. There's a lot of action happening later on as well. And please don't, spoiler alert. But also, if you want to catch up on anything, thank you very much, Brandon Bradford, for the beautiful angles. I'll try my best off the replay files, a little different.
Stephen Dean, can somebody help out this guy? So I'm looking in the chat box, and obviously Brandon Broadfoot says, beautiful camera angles, Dean.
Thank you.
Mr. Stega GameCube says, I'm assuming the NASRA Cup Series is invite only. I don't know if it is or not. I don't think it is. The Xfinity Series is on Tuesday nights. Are they recruiting? I went to the site to check, but the Discord invites pop up as invalid.
It's probably invalid because they expire after a certain period of time. So any admins or anybody that's involved, please, post a shootout link there or something like that in there if it's still open.
Yeah, they're open. Sus Racing answered that. Both are open to sign up, and I've been watching them. They get new drivers almost every day for those 2 series. For all
I was about to say, Mr. Sega GameCube, it's not a invitational only series. As long as you meet the requirements, pay for a charter, pay for the admissions or the entry fee, you're able to run. So,
pit crew. Sorry to cut you off there. I'm getting excited because you don't see him run out. Go, boys, go! Oh, he's got to wait for the gas to go first.
Fuel only.
And it is.
It's fuel only, guys. It's gas and go. He ain't taking their damn tires, Dean. You get excited for nothing. It's fuel only.
Cody, you let me down.
There's no.
Come on, gas man, hurry! Are you missing the?
It's nothing like that.
He's pouring it in concrete.
Or either that or the tire men are on strike. One or the other. I don't know.
What's it? It is a long time. Why is it stationary for so long?
Oh.
Wow.
He's probably getting damage fixed, guys. He got caught up in that accident.
Yes,
where you been, Dean? Come on, man.
Well, who's fixing it? Cody's not outside the car fixing it. These guys aren't doing anything at the moment.
Well, I mean, this is kind of imaginary. It's imaginary DVP, right? Goose frabba.
So we get excited up here because we don't get to see that.
Working on it from the pit wall.
We don't see that very often. In spectator mode, you don't at all.
We don't.
Pay attention, please. Yes.
We wish they would show that for sure, Stephen.
Yeah, the only time you see that is if you're in the car. The actual driver of the car is about the only time you'll ever see that.
So let's set up a restart here for you. Working. Actually, we're still under caution. I'll tell you what we'll do. Let's thank some sponsors. Maybe another word from Bob Carr. TLC Incorporated, a big part of the NASRA Cup Series. We're going to make it up for you because we can't show the sprinklers on the archive. We'll be back with more from Daytona in a moment.
Hey, Bob Carr here with TLC. You got a outdoor lighting, landscape lighting system. Maybe we installed it. Maybe it was there you inherited it in your house and you want to upgrade it. Now's the time to give us a shout. We'll come out, take a look, evaluate what you do.
Hey, Bob Carr here with TLC. If you have an outdoor project that we could help you with, we have 0% financing for a year. So if you have a project, you won't be using your money. Why not use our money? Doesn't cost you anything. Now's the time to be thinking about that project you always wanted to get done. It might be a lawn sprinkler, might be outdoor lighting, might be drainage, and or maybe outdoor holiday lighting that you need help with. Now's the time to be thinking about that. Give us a call at the office, 410-721-2342, or hit the link below to find out more about TLC's financing options.
TLC is the best in lawn sprinklers, outdoor lighting, holiday lighting, yard drainage, and more. Let us take care of your project. Get your free, no obligation estimate from TLC today.
Hey, Bob Carr here with TLC. Hope you guys are enjoying this race. Let's take it down to the booth and get updated on what's going on.
Big thanks again to Bob Carr, everybody at TLC Incorporated. We're excited to have them a part of our coverage. And already, as we get ready to go back to the TLC Incorporated restart zone, Stephen Bartlett, we got a lot of cars in the TLC Garage Works area as well. They are done. Some guys got cars fixed. Some people got crashed out. They're out. Some are having technical issues, mechanical problems, and they have left the race early as we await a restart here.
Yeah, I think we've had quite a few issues with these cars tonight for some reason. Self-spins maybe that we couldn't see. I'm not sure exactly, but we still got at least 31 cars on the track. We got a couple that are a few laps down, like Jacob Reeves, Bo Condon, that are still out there.
Field and Barker on the front row as we get ready to bring the field back to the TLC restart zone, ready for the green flag to fly. Yes, sir. By the way, closing in on what will be 7, now make it 6 laps to go here in Stage 2, Glass Mechanic Stage 2 for the NASRA Cup Series at the Virtual World Center of Racing. They climb the banking. It's Grand and Large going back into turn number 1.
We're also getting a blinker as well, too, so one of the drivers. So it is throwing itself out. I believe that's Jonathan Caulfield there, Michael Larch, Bobby Grant, and then Jonathan Baker. As it sorts itself out, I believe this was just one of those issues today as a server that's also causing a little bit of a panic mode here at the end of stage break.
You got to remember as well, iRacing did an update, and I'm wondering if it's not officially, Steven, got rid of some of the kinks or the bugs, if you will, that they still need to work on to get it back 100%.
Yeah, they'll usually if there's an issue, they'll come back next week, do another quick update. And but I wanted to say also, actually, I think Jacob Reeves has gone behind the wall. I don't see any numbers moving except he keeps losing laps.
Yeah, Jacob Reeves is out of the race. You can see right there on the scoring pylon, 35th place is where he will be credited for his NASRA Cup Series debut for the Rome, Georgia driver. Down the back straightaway they go into turn number 3. And Dean, it's time to start getting while the getting's good. Up the bank in is Caulfield and Grant. Here comes now Broadfoot on the bottom looking for the lead. And they're getting into position now with 3 to go. Or actually, correction, 4 laps to go here in stage number 2 as they come to the line.
It's crunch time. And we don't see Jeff Merck up there for me. He's down at P25 currently at the moment. Those pit stops are throwing everything out of place. But Brandon Perrenford, the 22 machine, has been around there, and he's smelling stage break.
All this going on as they work into turn number 2, back straightaway down that 3,000-foot back stretch, the super stretch here at the World Center of Racing. Stay in line, Broadfoot on the bottom. Here comes now Lachinsky in the mix. Lachinsky will hold on to that spot. He's right up under the back end of that car, and there you see it go. Steve bump draft again as they work 2 to go off turn 4.
Yeah, there'll be a lot of bump drafting. Usually they only do it on the straightaways, the front stretch and the back stretch. When you're going to do this in the turns, you got to be really, really careful because you can turn a guy real easy doing this in the turns.
And remember, we are in those final laps of stage number 2. Stage points on the line. Top 10 drivers take us all the way to the halfway mark. As now, here comes Lachinsky on the outside. Battles Brandon Broadfoot. The flaming green number 22 on the bottom. And look who piles through the middle. Jonathan Caulfield like a rocket out of a cannon. Look at him power to the lead and pull away in the 58 on the outside out of 4. 2 to go now here in stage number 2.
Yeah, Steve, have you seen him move like that before? Something went along, a miscommunication between teammates, and Caulfield just sneaks on by there. But Brandon Broadfoot still has at least 2 or 3, 5 feet ahead of everybody else in this one.
There was a push and some help. I believe it came from Grant. Grant gave a big shot to Jonathan Caulfield. Cofield now up to second, but Broadfoot now powers back to the lead. For how long, though? Here they come down the back straightaway, and we got a caution on the racetrack. Yellow flag will fly. We got problems on the Speedway. Looks like we got a big stack up over there in turn number, I believe, turn number 1 and 2, it looks like is where it happened. As the caution is out here.
And let us know what driver.
I'm going to say it's the number 40 car, guys. Car number 40.
Okay.
That had an issue on the track. I believe that is.
I don't see.
Oh, man.
No.
I want to say that's.
Oh, could be. This is
Nicholas
up the road.
Tomlinson.
Yeah.
Nicholas Tomlinson from Manahawkin, New Jersey. And let's see what happened to the car number 40. Also, Huck Wigginton, I'm understanding, might have got a piece of it as well. And possibly the 80 car of Smith might got involved as well, too. So let's take a look at a replay, and there it is. And this, by the way, too, Stephen, will officially end Glass Mechanic Stage 2. Here's a look at it from different camera angles now.
Yeah, it looks like it started up in the area around the 16.
There it is.
Everybody kind of backed out of the throttle or tapped the brakes or something.
There's another accident up the road for sure, isn't it, to be able to cause that one? They wouldn't be lifting that
That's
much.
Albright into Wigginton. I think there had to be something that happened up ahead to cause these guys to get on the binders, and we're going to try to find it. Guys, try to find the 40 car of Tomlinson. I know I mentioned him earlier. The 40 car
he's blinking,
was what was timing out first.
Yeah, that's the problem, because he's blinking around here, and then we can't show the replay because it just completely disappears, see?
Yeah, so whatever happened was around the 40 and the 80, and you see him right there now.
Yeah.
Tomlinson and Smith, and then, you know, I don't know, maybe Wigginton was the original cause of that caution there. We are going under the yellow flag, though, and again, this will officially conclude stage number 2 presented by the Glass Mechanic. And Brandon Broadfoot is going to be awarded the stage 2 winner here for the first race of the NASRA Cup Series for a points-paying event. And in about another lap and a half as well, we will officially be halfway into this race as the pace car is going to catch the field. Stephen, obviously, if you're keeping count, this is our 4th caution tallied of the race tonight so far.
Yeah, overall, it's been a pretty clean race. It's been good. We have had a few cautions, obviously. We just talked about it. But really, they're racing clean.
Brandon Broadfoot, there you see him out of Chico, California, the number 22 machine. He is the man that will win stage number 2 here at Daytona. And, of course, it will be Jonathan Cofield. And, my goodness, can we go back and probably say the move of the race had to have been the slingshot? Man, oh, man, what a move we saw by Jonathan Cofield. My goodness, that had to have been, in my opinion, the move of the race until we get to the end of this. But right now, that's in my voting panel, Dean. And we got cars that are on pit road. Is Cody not on pit road? Is he taking on tires?
No, unfortunately, it's not. As the time tower's gone absolutely crazy, so I can't actually get him at the moment. He stayed out. Cody stayed out.
Oh, there he is.
Stayed out. The rest of the field have stayed out. And so the other drivers have. Let's have a look if we can see someone down in pit road.
Mr. Sega GameCube says, thanks. I popped over onto iRacing to try and find the league, and I'm starting to feel like a Legacy Motor Club driver looking for it, XD. Thank you, Mr. Sega GameCube. I don't know your real name, so welcome aboard if you do decide to run the NASRA and be part of the NASRA family. A lot of work being done, cars involved getting work done. There's Damian Neeson, the of course, driver out of Longmont, California, or Longmont, California, Colorado. He had problems earlier, and his car is now back in the race again. And that's around your neck of the woods, ain't it, Stephen? Ain't what you told me?
Yep, I'm originally from the Denver area.
There you go. Broncos fan?
That's oh yeah. Broncos, Nuggets, Avalanche, and unfortunately the Rockies.
Now, what about the Colorado Buffaloes? Are you on board with Team Dion?
Oh, always. Ever since I was a little kid.
Yeah, like them. Yeah, the Buffaloes. So, all right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that will wrap up stage number 2, presented by the Class Mechanic. Here is some words from more of our amazing partners on the NASRA 360 Racing Network. And by the way, don't forget to join us tomorrow night, or technically tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, with coverage of the Goat Locker Racing Arca Thunder. Friday night, the Cops Truck Series. More at NASRA-Racing on social media. We're back from Daytona and the final stage next.
TLC is the best in lawn sprinklers, outdoor lighting, holiday lighting, yard drainage, and more. Let us take care of your project. Get your free, no obligation estimate from TLC today.
Hey, Bob Carr here with TLC. Hope you guys are enjoying this race. Let's take it down to the booth and get updated on what's going on.
Back at Daytona, right before the drop of the green flag. Stage number 1 done. Stage 2 now in the books. And ladies and gentlemen, Brandon Broadfoot, Bobby Grant, front row, ready to battle it out here with 49 laps to go at Daytona as we race here. Your third and final stage for the NASRA Cup Series. First points race underway. This will take us all the way to lap 100, Stephen, as they work into the corner. Look at Bobby Grant now show his strengths up in the lead.
That second line trying to get organized up above him as Greg Vale, I believe, in the 56 jumped out. And then here comes Brandon Broadfoot. He's going to take the lead in that upper lane and try to catch up with Bobby Grant.
Bobby Grant in the lead, but here comes the field dean swallowing him back up as they quickly reel him in on the draft. Broadfoot up on the outside. Michael Larch is now back up again into the number 2 spot. Third spot, here comes now Greg Veal back into the mix. Dean Gagliano all up there battling as we're side by side. 3 wide in the middle. Right there for a moment is going to be Greg Veal, the pole car.
And Brandon went up high to the fence at the moment. He had a little bit of a kiss against the fence, and he's been left for dry going up there. Nobody's going to back him up. He's got tucked in, thankfully, into the second row. But, Bobby, it's good to see all these unfamiliar names, isn't it, here at the NASRA Network? Bobby Grant, Michael Larch, and the Dean. I like that name, that number 18 machine. He sounds like he's a pretty good driver. I think he is.
Working off turn 4. Here they come to the line. Everyone single file. The first 3 cars are Bobby Grant up in front, Larch, Gagliano, Veal, Truex now is back into the top 5. That's, of course, the cousin of a former NASCAR Cup Series champion, Martin Truex Jr., and Ryan Truex Jr. from the NASCAR Xfinity Series as well. To the back straightaway, he's up in the dance, and there's a battle for the lead now, Steven, as we work into turn 3.
Bobby Grant getting a push from Michael Larch in that black and white, black and silver car right behind him. And then we have the 18 of Dean Gagliano in third, Greg Veal, Tyler Truex in fifth for your top 5 drivers as they come across the start-finish line.
Working lap number 54 when they come to the line right now. 46 laps to go. It is go time, Dean. It is time, Mr. Giggles, to find your drafting partner, find your teammate, or find a way to get one started and work to the front. You do not want to be in the back here as it's getting to the end of the race now.
I thought you said something about something for a barn dance, isn't it? Grab your partner for a barn dance.
Grab your partner, do-si-do.
Yeah, do-si-do.
Swing around and go, go, go. Yeah, there you go. Look at Cody Knott up high. Oh, boy, Carl Burke on the binders behind him.
They're going to get that highline going, don't they, Steve? Because it was good at the start of the race, and at the moment, nobody's electing to use it. They're all sticking down low. Look at the weather conditions as well, too, gentlemen. Let's see how much has changed. Oh, it's dropped 1 degree.
Yeah, that bottom line's got more cars on it. That's why it's working good right now. The more cars you have in the draft, the faster that line will go. And that's the problem with the that top lane, the second lane. They don't quite have enough cars to really get it going. They'll need a few more to jump up there.
Or maybe Cody again. It's what happened last time there, Wes. Remember Cody? Jumped out in front and then started zooming on by like everybody, like you're driving past a grandma on a freeway on a Sunday afternoon, and bingo, look at the acceleration speed, look at the boost speed he's getting from the toe behind. Look at that, give him a nice push. Bingo. 1, 2, 3, 4 positions.
Trying to get that third row started up on the outside lane. That's Cody Knott, the Madera, California driver. He's got, of course, some help with Carl Barker, as well as, I believe, Shepsis right there behind him up on the outside lane. And just as fast as they can get something going, they just quickly dissolves here. And, you know, Stephen, this is exactly what we've seen in the Clash and in the duels last week as well. The same scenario.
Yeah, it's kind of funny how these lines work. They'll go really, really good in one part of the race, and then they'll kind of fall back a little bit as that top line is doing right now, and the bottom line is coming in.
Larch looking high, looking low, going high. Nope, he says, I'm going to stay committed to the back end of the lead car. Bobby Grant, the Mountain Dew Zero Sugar, number 14. Or will he now? Larch gets a big side draft back from the number 2 to the 14. And this opens up the door now for the 26 of Cody Knott. There's a lot of disturbing air going on in that mix. Put Carl Burke up in that as well. And boy, oh boy, here we go with another shuffle, song and dance, Dean, all 4.
And here comes Cody. Yep, Cody's going to take advantage of that. He's getting a nice push from behind if we can do a swinging cameraman. Thank you very much, cameraman. And there he is. So Tyler Trucks Racing 56 machine. Got a few of those gladiators out there. But still, Bobby Grant, Michael Larch, and then Dean of Deans. The other Dean.
Tyler Truex, by the way.
Truex.
Tyler Truex Racing in that number 56 machine. And by the way, that, of course, is Mr. Veal racing in that car. As right now, we watch those guys. That's Veal and Truex. They've hooked up, if you will, Steven, right now down the back straightaway. We got to watch those cars in the 53 and the 56 or the 69 right now.
Yeah, right now there's too big of a gap between Tyler Truex and the 44, I believe that was behind him.
Barker, yep.
Jonathan Barker. They need to close that gap a little bit if they're going to have any chance at catching up to the leader. You get these cars too far apart, and they won't draft.
Another lap being put in there. I like that. At Old Man and a Can for the 14 of Bobby Grant. At Old Man and the Can. I'm about to follow that right now on Instagram as I speak.
At Old Man and I Can, or I Can and an Old Man. He can, certainly. You're an old man, Wes. Having your birthday recently, as well as yourself there, Steve. But was born before electricity was invented. Anyway,
out of the cannon into the man, right? As they always said about a can of Campbell's soup, a meal in itself, right? It's right now off turn 4.
Oh, Leslie, we were talking about for the charity event, getting your son or something like that into the drive, because you don't drive. Can you get family members in for that one?
Yeah,
Steve's wife's going to
maybe.
drive. You already confirmed that one, right, Steve?
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah, she wants to.
Just remember to make sure she doesn't turn right. Remember, there's a wall there, right, Miss
Right.
Bartlett? If you're listening, yeah. Back straight away as they work into the corner. Under 40 laps to go. We'll go side by side to thank our partners again as we got a battle now going on between Grant Larch, Gagliano now, a new name into the mix there, Dean, as they work into turn number 2. Actually, turn number 3 and 4. Here they come back to the line. These laps are flying by quickly.
They're still trying to get that other outside line led by Cody alive there. He needs a good push. He's getting a push. But at the moment, it's nothing that's threatening Bobby Grant and Michael Larch up the road there. So they're giving it their absolute best. We're not going to see 3 wide yet, are we, Steve? Because way too early with a good chunk of change of laps to go. 41, in fact, to go. Thank you, Premier Setups, because that's going to make you go a bit faster there, Wes and Steve.
Yeah, man. Big thanks to those partners, those sponsors, everybody. Thanks to Premier Setup Shops. Thanks to, of course, the world of NASRA. Thanks also to, Jason White and the powers that be behind the NASRA Cup Series operating this and taking it to this new stratosphere, if you will. A lot of big things, Dean, happening in the world of the North American Sim Racing Association. We're excited to be a part of it.
Oh, we are. And even with the little dilemmas and dramas that we had with the internet and servers and all sorts of jazz, Justin done a big part. He's actually got... we've got interviews coming up as well, too, from the drivers that's already been recorded. We don't know because we wanted to make sure that we're keeping this absolutely as fresh to us up here in the booth as possible to make it more exciting and more fun. We don't know. You didn't want to know the results of a sports event, do you, before if you could watch it live?
No, we distinctly told them, and Stephen, you know this as well. We point blank said, we don't want to know nothing. We don't want to know the outcome of the race. We don't want to know what happened. We don't want to know when the big one happened. We don't want to know who jumped out up in front, who won the stages. All we want to do is get right back in the chair where we left off 2 hours ago or so and call the race, and that's exactly what we're doing right now. The reason why we have the excitement level that we have calling this race is because in our eyes, it is happening to us in real time right now.
Yeah, and that's right. You know, we wanted to give our natural reactions to the race. We didn't want to fake it, force it, what have you. We wanted to keep it as real as possible to us.
And just like that, we are literally working to the home stretch of this one now. Obviously, you're in stage number 3 here for the NASRA Cup Series. And I'm just so impressed again, as we mentioned, the names of the drivers, so many different lead changes. And now Bobby Grant getting around Michael Larch. He's back up in front again. Cody Knott, for a while there, Dean Gagliano tried to get something going. He's now back to 4th. Carl Burke now has been locked to the back end of the 26 of the Californian. Cody Knott, it seems like for the last 20, 30 laps, bobbing, weaving, inside, outside like Rocky in a virtual boxing ring there, Dean, trying to find a way to get by him, Adrian, and he can't clear him yet. And Cody Knott is right there being the front wingman as they work into 3.
Dun, 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 dun. It's the eye of the tiger at the moment, and Dean's in the eye of the storm currently at the moment. Oh, that's a little bit too soon. My apologies about that one, what's been happening. But anyway, it is done and dusted. As somebody said out there, Gagliano for president. That's Dean. Gagliano, sorry. I can never pronounce his name correctly. I am a butcher. My apologies.
That's all good. We got it. We've got this here, and we're making the best of it for sure. As right now we watch these guys up in front. Cody Knott now battling for the lead. Bobby Grant, Steven on the back straightaway now, fighting for the spot as they work off 2.
Did a little door banging there, and we got Bo Condon lap traffic in that number 25. Hopefully he will go up the track and stay up there, as it appears he's going to do, which is a good thing. I always found it better to, if I'm getting lapped, take the high road and let these guys figure it out in the 2 lanes below me, and that's what he's doing. Good job for him.
Oh
no, Cody!
No, Cody!
Cody Knott! Oh no! I think you blame it on Steven. He jinxed him.
Yeah, Cody Knott ain't gonna win it.
And into the pit lane early for everybody here. There's a whole bunch of cars that jumped in. Now, they might have seen that opportunity real quick, but usually the pit lane doesn't open until
Caution number 5.
Yeah.
Boy, oh boy, man, I hate that.
Where's his pit
That
crew?
is such a tough break.
There
Yeah, they're not doing anything. Fuel and go, gas and go. Let's go back to the replay, though, and figure out what happened to the 26. And we're going to rewind it here. Oh, boy, fast forward. You know, Steven, you jinxed him. Look at this. Come on, man. Bobby Grant into the back end of Cody Knott. It looks like it's just a bad bump draft gone wrong because you were talking about Cody. Announcer jinx. This time it's on you.
There it is. Cody was
usually it's my fault,
wasn't he? Have a look at where Cody's wheel was at the point as well too. He's on his racing log. He looks pretty smooth operator on that one. Have a look.
That's just a bad bump draft on the right rear of the 4.
Yeah, it is.
Bottom line. Look at that.
Bump. Yeah, and he's already putting straight. So yeah, that's just how it happens. Of course, if you get a bump from your teammate or something like that, it all goes pole shaped and
get a little off.
At least he's right next to the pit stop entrance. Could have been worse.
That bump draft.
Yeah. Go ahead.
It appears that bump draft was a little off-centered, and that's what sent Cody around.
Yeah, so the caution out again. And by the way, I believe this is going to set us up for, my goodness, wow. What was it? 34 laps to go. Drivers are pitting. We're seeing some guys pit, but not the entire front crowd, though.
Yeah, they're racing to catch the pace car.
Yeah.
So that they can, they should be able to. To them, they're absolutely fully racing. And no, we are. We're green, actually. My apologies. That didn't cause a caution.
Yeah, that didn't cause the caution,
No.
guys. Hashtag fake news. Oh, my goodness. We got excited for nothing. Holy hell. We're still under the green flag.
This is the only confusing about when that little flag doesn't show us a sprinkler, doesn't it? We don't quite know what's going on over here. Sorry, Bob.
And look who's back in the lead, Jeff Merck.
Yeah, Jeff Merck and Bobby Grant right there on the front. There you see a couple other cars off the pace again. There's that number 80 car you were mentioning. TLC Incorporated entry. We're still under green flag. We're not under caution. We thought we had our 5th caution of the race. We do not. We stay green, and now Jeff Merck falling back there, Steven, as they go into 3.
Yeah, we got a lot of cars that are going to end up being lap traffic here really quick because they're slow coming up onto the
green
turn
flag
1.
pit stops.
Wow. Oh, this is going to be... Oh, how are you going to get 6 or 7 cars into one? They're all going a little bit push up in the pit road too, gentlemen. I think it's just because Cody's not down there at the moment. So we shall see.
So we're seeing green flag pit stops happening. I think that's what happened when Cody Knott and some other guys got tore up and they came down to the pit lane. They just said, to hell with it, Steven. We'll just go ahead and make our money stop, pit stop, if you will. And that's what they're doing here on lap number 68.
Yeah, this should be the last pit stops that those guys have to make. Is the pit window's 34 laps, about 34 laps, so they can make it from there.
Have I shown Jacob Reeves back in the race again?
No, Jacob Reeves is out. He is out. Yeah, he got tore up earlier. Jacob Reeves is out.
P7. I think it's sorting itself out during the pit stops at the moment. It just goes a little bit pole-shaped.
And Brandon Broadfoot now, the new leader up in front, as they're going to be coming to 30 laps to go this time by. When they work off a turn forward, they're on the back straightaway. Brandon Broadfoot, Buzzy Mongold. This guy started shotgun on the field. Look where he's at. Joshua Corner. Andrew Alzewski is back up in the top 4, in the top 5 with Jeff Merck. Here we go. A lot of guys that have been playing possum, hanging in the back, if you will, Steven, are right now about to become Viking-esque, if you will, and climb to the front, ready at the last minute to look for a win.
Yeah, they'll take over that front position until they come into pit. The top 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 drivers or so have not pitted yet, so they will lose those positions when they do come down to pit.
They're about to lap Cody. That's Cody there, and wow. So I think that's Carl Burke as well too. So it's getting all over
Brandon
the place.
Broadfoot.
Oh,
Brandon! Whoa! Look out! Oh my goodness!
Cody, I think. What happened there?
Couple of cars going around. We'll still stay green right now. We're not done yet. Got a little loose for a second on the back straightaway.
So Jonathan will go in. It's not showing.
That was the 16, by the way. That was That was the 16 that we saw kind of turn into where our buddy Cody Knott was, and that was, it didn't draw a caution either. Wow, we are still racing, still staying green. They're still running to the finish here, Steven.
Yeah, I'm thinking maybe race control has taken over the caution flags, possibly. That's why we're not seeing the...
There's a caution. You can see it. We have to actually look at the trackside caution to know, unfortunately.
And now the caution has been called. Yeah. 5th caution of the race now, and this time we do go under the yellow flag. Now, last time with Cody Knott, it did not happen, but this time it did. And I want to say it's Dean Gagliano that is the guy that's involved in it. The 18, he's free-falled on the scoring pylon. And Gagliano, I believe, was the man that got into the back of those cars. Let's rewind things here, if we can, as we go under the yellow flag.
That'll take a long time, Wes. Sorry, I think we should.
Okay, well, it's Gagliano. We saw what happened. He fell back, got into a couple of cars, and well, I'll tell you what, though, Steven, if I haven't pitted yet, they're all coming down pit road right now, buddy. This is it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the rest of these guys will come and pit now. Is they'll all be bunched up again at the restart. They won't be so spread out.
So Gagliano putting us under the yellow flag for the 5th time, and here comes the cavalry on the pit road money stop here at Daytona.
I'm surprised Brandon Broadfoot stayed out. He's going to need fuel here before too long.
Yeah, a few of these drivers will need it. Buzzy, Mongold, Brian Chu, I think. What's happening at the moment in the replay, it's not, as soon as a driver enters the pit lane, they kind of magically disappear. It makes it very difficult for us to kind of track what's going on with them. So drivers out there, let us know. But usually we see them all go on pit road, which they are going into pit road. It's just that on our timing tail, they're magically just reappearing back in track positions, things like that. The joys of modern technology.
We usually do these races live, and in real time we're able to keep track with all these things. But when you're doing a recording, some of the features, some of the graphics, some of the things with timing and scoring go cattywampus is the nice way of saying, Steven. And then once we get everybody back in sync and get back on the racetrack and drop the green, then everything kind of gets right back into mode again.
Look at this.
Brandon Broadfoot
They've had to
is
stop
stopping
to wait for the rest of the traffic to come. There's Buzzy, and there's Brian. There's the rest of it. How often?
Yeah,
there's
sure
a pace
are.
car. They've gone that far out that I've never seen drivers actually stop on the track for the pace cars.
Yeah. How in the world did he get that far ahead of the dang pace car? That's the question there. And now the pace car is going to catch the field, and almost, I think he might have outstalled the car trying to get going again there, Steven.
Yeah, you got a little too hard on the gas. You remember that apron is pretty slick.
That's right.
So if you hit that gas a little too hard, it'll cause you to lose traction.
That pace car
now,
almost caused an accident.
As long as Buzzy Mongold or Brandon Broadfoot do not lose stalling the car, need to have a push to come to the pit lane, have a tow, they are allowed to push right back into their position, and there you see them right now. That's exactly what they're doing. So Broadfoot, Mongold on the brakes on the back straightaway to catch up to the pace car and the rest of the field. When we come back, we're under 25 to go from Daytona. We're still under yellow. We're back with more in the NASRA Cup Series.
Are you ready?
For Murph's Magical Creations. Home to custom laser engraving and gifts. This veteran-owned and operated company engraves for all occasions. If you want one of Murph's Magical Creations, call the number on your screen or commission through either Instagram or via email. Murph's Magical Creations, made with love for you.
Starbase 1552 Comics. We sell everything a collector would want. Comics, Funkos, action figures, and so many more. A real American comic book shop. We are online only. Starbase 1552 Comics. Find us on eBay Auctions.
Get ready to strap in for the final quarter of the distance here at Daytona. Welcome back to coverage of Race 1 of the NASRA Cup Series. Hey, by the way, while we're under caution, here's a look at the upcoming schedule, where we're going to be for the NASRA Cup Series this season. Next week, back to regular life, if you will, Dean and Steven, and that'll be at Homestead Miami Speedway, Michigan, Kansas, round 3 and 4. Pocono, first 5 rounds, and again, just got to survive the wild card. That is Daytona here tonight, Stephen Bartlett.
Yeah, it looks like in that 8th week, Richmond will be the first short track that they'll see coming up.
Welcome back to our coverage of the NASRA Cup Series. Tonight it is the NASRA 250 powered by TLC Incorporated. Thanks to TLC, lawn sprinklers and outdoor lighting. More details at TLC Inc. on Facebook and TLCincorporated.com. All the other sponsors we have, A's Lawn and Landscaping. Of course, the Glass Mechanic. The fine folks at 213simware.com. Pulse Poppers. Hell, you name it. Butt Kicker. Sim Racer Hub. Darren's Nail Gun Repair. The concerns of police survivors, Blanchard's Towing, you name it. We thank them all, and we're looking forward to, again, this new era with the NASRA Cup Series, and we are ready. Dean, final quarter of the race, man. This is about to be go time here, man. If you've been playing possum, time to get to the front. Oh, and by the way, we've seen guys that have been playing in the back coming to the front here now.
Yes, Wesley.
Ready to watch? Please? Oh, I'm sorry. Dean is working on something. My apologies.
Yeah, it looks like we'll have another lap to go as we see some lucky dogs and some other lap cars going by. Yeah, lights are still on the pace car.
It's still nice. Under caution. Wow.
It's nice to see with this series, we have a lot of brand new drivers that we've never seen before. I was just looking at the 19 of Matthew Garrett. We're used to seeing Adam Newton in that number. But we got a lot of the old guys, too, that have been around for a while. But it's nice to see all these new drivers in NASRA.
It is. It's good to see the lights off on the pace car finally. We're going to double them up and get ready for the restart. But, yes, we have noticed these new names, obviously, for these drivers, that have been running the NASRA Cup Series. Also, obviously, the Xfinity program, the Cops Trucks or DSR Electric Series. We welcome them all. We had somebody asking questions about how do you join. It's not invitation only. It's not, it's not a club. If you want to be a part of this organization with the North American Sim Racing Association that was founded back in the summer of 2020 during the COVID years and still going strong 4 or 5 years later today, contact Brady LaBeouf, Cody Dodd. I know Cody was in the chat box earlier. And by the way, next week we will have the Gen 6 cars next week where we race at. So, again, that's going to be really, really cool. There you see it, Homestead, Miami. Not the next-gen car like tonight in Daytona. We're going to go down 95 South and hit to Homestead, Miami. And you talk about high bank super speedway racing here tonight, Stephen Bartlett. They're going to be going precision banking 2, 3, 4, 5 lanes wide next week at Homestead, Miami for week number 2. Michigan, Kansas, Pocono, all in the first 5 weeks. We're looking forward to it.
Yes, we are. Homestead is normally done at the end of a season, towards the end of a season, but they're doing it now here this next week. Homestead's a lot of fun to race on. It's just a little bit of a different track. It almost reminds you of Indianapolis, but it doesn't have the 4 corners.
Gonna be a fun one. Better strap in and get ready for this one, ladies and gentlemen. It is go time. Pace car gets ready to hang that left-hand turn onto the pit lane all by his lonesome. Here they come back to the TLC restart zone. Tender, loving care for the field. Under 25 to go here in Daytona. Green means go, and the green double deuce is gone on the restart in turn 1. That's Brandon Broadfoot Holmes to the outside to try to get that second, third lane going. Nothing there. He'll go to the bottom and hook up under the back end of the double deuce into one.
But Brian Chu back up on that outside with Jackson Wade right behind him, trying to take that lead away from Brandon Broadfoot as we see that maybe that top line is going to start working again.
Remember as well, it's going to take about a lap for these guys to get to full song before they get to full speed of these next-gen cars. This is the Gen 7 car as they work their way coming off of turn 4. Look at this, by the way, Brandon Broadfoot, and we got some more cars coming down pit road. They're coming to the pits. They had no choice, Dean.
No, they had to. They had to go in. They didn't box under the caution car, the safety car, because of the fact that they had to wait on track for it, and they lost so much time. The rest of the field caught up with them, and then, so by boxing, going to pit road, they would have just plumped last anyway. So they've just elected to come and do a couple of laps there, and then they're going to drop back to maybe a lap down or not. I'm not quite sure. But Brian Chu, Jackson Wade leading this one.
Boy, that is a big hurt, if you will, with now 25 laps to go. Seeing these guys coming down the pit lane, no doubt about it right now, Steven. I mean, you literally put yourself in a bad spot.
Yeah, they hurt themselves by waiting for the restart. They should have went in when you had the caution out and when everybody else went in. This is going to hurt them.
No leader. Greg Shepsis up in front, up 12 spots on the inside of the racetrack, carrying the 93 of Aaron with him. And Shepsis now, that driver in that number 27 from Englishtown, New Jersey. The Pine Golf Company, number 27, is now the new man up in front. But for how long? Look who's right behind him. That's the 93 car. Don't count him out. That's the driver there of Thomas Aaron from Grand Prairie, Texas. The University of North Texas entry right there, looking high, looking low, making moves, and they're trying to get 3 wide. Dean, for a minute, up on the outside lane. They just can't make it stick as they come to the line.
I was going to say, Wesley, how'd you know that's in Texas? So you just know your geography quite well. So they're fantastic. They are doing it. They are single file on the inside apron again, and they've continuously done this for now until they work a little bit later on forming the second lane. At the moment, who's thinking about forming that second lane? Maybe it could be the, I can't see it at the moment. Is it Matthew?
That's true. We're watching them here. And by the way, to answer your question about Aaron's car, obviously I know the logo, and I announced college sports as well, other sports, football, basketball, and that's why I knew that it was the North Texas. But also, thanks to Jason White, we have a driver roster that helps out prepare for that information too.
Oh, I was putting the names in before for where their location is. I would have put the
Got a caution!
Oh.
Got a caution on the racetrack, boy. Another yellow flag is out with under 25 laps to go. 22 remaining, and we got a problem. We're trying to find out what happened here.
Let's say possibly the 27, Greg Shepsis.
Yeah,
Greg Shepsis, guys. Yeah. That's who it is. Yes. Oh, no. Greg Shepsis at one time up in front and crashing. Let's look at this.
He's blinked for a second, and then he's blinking, so... we can't see. We just can't see, gentlemen, what happened to poor Greg. He's just dropping like a 929 stock exchange. He's dropping like my internet connection earlier was. Something like that.
Yeah, he's back in 27th right now, according to the leaderboard.
Yeah, here we go.
I haven't
out pictures of him yet. No.
Tough break there, obviously.
Oh, there he is.
Now, if you've not pitted yet, if you've not pitted yet, when guys, I want to say it's car 24 that actually had problems looking at timing and scoring. I want to say it might be Damian Neeson. If we could go back and check out Damian Neeson, I believe he's the guy that put us under the yellow flag for the 6th time.
Do it backwards.
Damian Neeson in reverse.
And I tell you what, that caution came out exactly at the right time too, because Brandon Broadfoot was about to go a lap down.
Oh yeah.
Now he'll be at the end of the.
Here it is.
There it is. Bam, brother! I called it. I found it. Is that Condon and Neeson right there? Here's your replay. The 25 and the 24.
Oh, that's
Condon and
banging.
Nixon, there it is. Boy, they're banging.
What's
Oh,
going on?
no, a right rear hook,
Yeah.
and man, he hit the 25 Condon hard.
That's beef.
Wow.
Yeah,
We got beef. We got beef, Jacob Reeves.
He was trying to bump draft him and was way off center on that one. That's what happens.
We'll just fast forward up a little bit, gentlemen. Otherwise, we'll be forever catching up to it because we can't just click the live button and go back live because this is like a. I was saying to you guys in the green room earlier. I don't know if anybody's familiar with old cassette tapes or VHS tapes. You can't just skip to the end of the movie by going to chapter 7. You've got to actually fast forward the tape, and that's kind of what we're doing here.
Be kind. Please rewind. Definitely, I think about that now.
That VHS tapes were about the time my dinosaur bus died.
Oh,
under caution again. Oh my goodness.
You know what he hit, But he hit the VL Productions, which is one of our sponsors. So perhaps we should cut over to them to see what sort of marketing we can do for you. What do you reckon, there, Jay?
Yeah, I want to say a big thanks to. I said Justin White, and the guys that are behind what they're doing with, of course, the NASRA Cup Series. I know it started from a branch out of a former series, and they've kind of took it to another level, and so cool to see what they've done. No doubt about it, and definitely looking forward to watching and seeing what this series does with Justin White and of course with Brady LaBeouf and Cody Nod and the powers that be that are behind doing what they do. There's a board of directors, there's an organization, if you will, that kind of makes sure that things go in a professional way, Stephen. But the number one thing we got to remember, this is fun. We're having fun. It's iRacing. It's fun. It's not the real deal. It's a competitive simulation world. But we know that this is just everybody getting together across the world, for that matter, and enjoying the world of iRacing and enjoying being a part of it and being a part of a sanctioning body that has the bragging rights of a good pay and paying for a championship and points in the way the structure is and format. I think that's why the numbers are close to 160, 170 now for NASRA.
Yeah, I wanted to mention Cody left us a note up in the chat room, and Cody, this is part of your big show. You, Brady, you can come in the broadcast room anytime you want.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Where was Cody at? Bring Cody in here. Where the hell is he?
Yeah, Cody, come in for sure, because you can elaborate a little bit more, because he was there live, of course, during the race, and sometimes some of these things are switching all over the place, and we don't actually 100% understand what's going on. But we do know what you look like, Wesley. We do know what Steve looks like.
Yeah,
too,
hence,
so.
yeah. I'm still waiting to see what you look like, Ozzy. Okay,
Come in, Cody. I will hit that pause button, Cody, and then we aren't going anywhere until somebody's coming in. All right. Greg's
he said that he's holding the broadcast hostage at 1:36 Eastern Time in North Carolina. I will disconnect and tell you good night.
I will take off my clothes and I will streak across the track if I have to. Do not recommend that.
As I say, it's already 35 minutes past my bedtime.
20 laps to go. And by the way, thank you, Stephen and Dean and Cody and Justin White and everybody involved for sticking it out. Obviously, we wanted to do this live. We were pumped up. We were excited. I know there's some things we're going to work in on our end to be better, but I'm just glad that we have the opportunity, the technology, and the equipment, Dean, to at least do the race than not do it at all, as we're getting ready to set ourselves up for a 20-lap shootout when we come to green.
Goes to show you that's just the mentality here that we have at NASRA. And thank you, gentlemen, as well, too, for sticking through the technical issues as well as everybody else. It just happens, but you know what? What sticks and stones, well, it makes you stronger. And it makes us stronger. No little things are going to stop us from broadcasting this fantastic league. And we feel that we'd let the drivers down if we didn't do it, right? So we are doing it.
By the way, I wanted to say Jason Morales, one of our guys in the booth as well and driver for NASRA, he celebrated a birthday the other day. So maybe that's why I had Jason White on the brain, Justin White. But Jason Morales, big happy birthday to him. He has joined us on several occasions calling NASRA, and obviously one of the guys that drives the #1 truck or car. Big, hopefully had a great birthday. And now we get ready for a shootout here with the General Motors number 19 of Garrett starting to climb. So is Brian Chu. And Bo, Tiffany, and Holmes, Aaron, all these good cars. Names that we haven't mentioned a lot tonight here, Steven, up now in this top spot. As we await a restart, they're going to come back to that TLC restart zone. 19 laps remaining as they get ready to come to the green. Pace car is getting ready to drop onto pit road. Into the infield. Back to the lead is going to be the field. 20, now make it 19 laps to go. TLC restart zone. Green flag flies. Still a big field of cars up in front at Daytona. And it is time to get while the getting's good. Get in your spots. Get to victory lane for the bragging rights of being the inaugural NASRA Cup Series winner. Stephen Bartlett, who will it be? Sheps is up in front with Aaron as they go into 1 and 2.
Yeah, we got a lot of cars blinking in and out right now. Greg Shepsis, Bo Tiffany's been blinking in and out.
Yeah.
I was kind of looking for Merck. Merck's back there in 8th. You know, there's always still a chance for him to come up to and lead this race and take the win also.
And I think your hostage negotiation of the broadcast tactic worked, Dean Hopton. We have Cody Nod in the booth. And Cody, the inking and the blinking and all that good stuff. Now, I know that that's something that you guys might tolerate for a lap or two, but if it is something consistent, if we have a new audience watching the NASRA Cup Series, you will park them.
Yeah, what's up, guys? Yeah, I saw you're going to threaten to pause my broadcast if you didn't come up here. So I told my wife, I was like, I think they're going to pause it. I'll be right back. But yeah, so no, if guys start blinking out and stuff, what we do is we request them if it can't stabilize, we request them to go to the apron and then fall to the back. We don't necessarily request that they park it and leave the race. It's just in good faith that we just allow them to keep the opportunity if their connection stabilizes. So generally, we just have them go to the back of the field, and then once it stabilizes, they're more than welcome to race up front again or race however they feel.
I tell you what, 18 laps to go now, make it 17 laps to go. Bo Tiffany now being showed the lead spot as he keeps timing in and out, though. Look at Brian Chu in the mix, so is Merck. All these good cars here watching on the outside lane. But, Cody, how excited are you to have now an official NASRA Cup Series? Because I know that was something you really wanted to work on when we had the Millie's Restaurant and Catering Cup Series on Sunday night back in the day.
Yeah, it was actually before Dean's time when he was here. I was actually the one that was producing the Sunday Cup Series when we did have it originally. We had just tried to get it launched, and it just kind of seemed like we just weren't able to get enough traction with it, especially with competing with real-life NASCAR, because we were kind of sometimes overlapping with it.
Yes,
so we were getting a lot of people that were not necessarily racing, more watching the real-life racing. And then we just were unable to keep the head count. But now that we have an actual sanctioning body that we absorb, basically, which is Thunderclap, they already had an established league. And we just brought them on and then formed some of our rules with them. And then they just kind of took over our structure that we run here within the league, because we have a really well-structured league. Obviously, we've been able to prove it with keeping our car counts at around 40 per series, basically, and we got 4 nights a week now. So it helped us actually be able to form a Cup Series, and then so far, it's going strong with this. I think we had 37 tonight.
Yep, 37 cars signed in for the NASRA 250, powered by TLC Incorporated. And let's get back to the action up in the front as we've got Awolzewski popping and weaving inside and outside. And now here comes Bartman, Jeff Merck, a NASRA Cup Series truck champion, putting that machine from Punta Gorda, Florida, to the #1 spot again, the 60.
That's what I love about these super speedways, because, we were just talking about Merck being back there in 8th just a little bit ago. All of a sudden, he's back in the lead. The leaders will change all the time when in these super speedways, and it's a lot of fun to watch.
And we have Jacob Reeves. We thought he parked it, didn't he? But Jacob's in this race.
Yeah, Jacob Reeves was a couple of laps down. He battled his way back up to the front. He is now sitting in the #3 position. And by the way, we apologize. The way the timing and scoring and the pylon is, and it changes, it really it makes us be messed up. So our apologies on that. But what a job Jacob Reeves has done now. The redneck announcer has found his way Dean just mentioned it, Stephen, up to third spot, and right now we're kind of seeing everybody get into position, and I'll tell you, somebody else has climbed up there. The animal, Keith Bradley, the pole car, Veal's up there again in that 56 machine as they work up the high side.
Yeah, you know, as I was talking a little bit ago about Merck being back in the lead and how the lead changes so quick up here, I thought that was Jacob Reeves, but I wasn't sure. Because we thought he was out. He put it behind the wall, but no, he's still out there, and he's still plugging along and fighting for a top 5.
I think that's one of those timing things, isn't it? Cody could probably confirm that one too, because we had some of the drivers that were all of a sudden they're not there. Made it a little bit more difficult to try to find some of those wrecks that occurred, but it's getting excited. You already know what's going to happen, Cody, but we're in anticipation of this one.
3 wide!
Go ahead.
Look at that up the middle. This is going to be Aaron. The University of North Texas 93, the green and white machine right there in the middle. Clowns to the left of me, Junkers to the right. Alzewski's one of them. Here comes now Bradley. And they somehow hold it together 3 wide as they work back with 12 to go into turn 1. Here comes Broadfoot now back in the mix. Murphy looked like he was going to go below the double yellow line. They hold it together as they climb the banking, Stephen, into 1 and 2.
Yeah, Thomas Aaron was hoping he'd get that third line in the middle going, but nobody followed with him, so he's lost a few places now. Looks like he's going to try it again, see if anybody follows him and can give him a push to get up there towards the front.
And look at now, Thomas Aaron clear a path. He's hoping for some clean air. Cody, you ran this race earlier, and obviously it's chaotic, right? Especially now about this point. What's the mindset of these guys, especially heading to these final 40 miles of the race now?
Yeah, for sure. These trucks are heavy. They're shaky all over the place, especially in a 3 wide situation. We didn't explore that too much for the night. So as you'll see in the coming up, 3 wide's a little bit tricky. But these cars, I'll tell you by firsthand, I was doing a 3 wide earlier, and it's like a wind tunnel right in the center. It just creates like a really bad shakiness within the steering wheel on these cars. And it could just be due to the weight, and it could also just be due to the aero package that's on the cars. But that's why you also don't see them too much side drafting off each other. Just because it doesn't really work. It just creates a really massive bubble that's in between you guys, and it forces you guys to get a little shaky. So people just kind of single file out and stay in their own lanes.
Coming to the line, 10 laps to go. One of the things I just noticed also, Bart, man, looking at the weather conditions, the track temp is still the same, but the wind has picked up as we hit 9 p.m. Eastern time. Definitely a tailwind we're watching on the back straightaway as Jeff Merck leads the cavalry now to the super stretch.
Yeah, that wind plays a little bit of a problem, especially for the leaders, because they're the ones that has to push that wind. Everybody behind them, they're drafting, so that wind doesn't affect them too much as they're coming down that windier section of the track.
Merck up high. There goes Cofield. Cofield gives him plenty of room to those inside cars of Wade, and they bonsai off of that side air just a little bit. A little side draft, and now we're going to single digits. Dean, 9 laps to go. It's time to strap in for the home stretch here in Daytona.
It's time for a wiggle and a jiggle, or what do you say there?
Chaos.
A little wiggle and a jiggle and a bobble and a giggle. There it is, but right now it just ain't happened yet. We mentioned them trying to go 3 wide. Cody talked about them trying to go 3 wide. They just cannot seem to stay organized. As all this goes on to the back straightaway, lap number 93 on the board this time by right now. In front, it is Merck. Merck continues to be the guy up into the top spot as they work their way into the corner. Merck, Wade, Cofield, got to get in line, got to get up in front. By the way, there is a chance at overtime. I want to emphasize that as well. If we do get a caution, a late race caution, there is a chance for 3 attempts at free racing overtime. But right now, what a job there, Stephen. Jeff Merck, the Floridian, up in front in the 60.
Yeah, Jeff has had a strong car all night. He's been up here before this evening, and a couple of times actually, as we see guys now drop down to that bottom lane trying to get around Merck and take the lead away from him.
It's Brian Chu, isn't it? The 51, yep. He's bold and parade. He's getting a nice push. Nice push by the animal, Keith Bradley.
Oh, there goes the Indy Race Parts, number 29 from Lawrenceburg, Indiana. Two-time NASRA Comps champion, the only multi-time champion since NASRA's been around in 2020. Dives to the inside, gave a little bump draft there for a minute to the battle of Brian Chu. Brian Chu now scampers away from him. Here comes now Aaron up on the top shelf for Grandma hides the cookies from Grandpa in the Angels Expressway. Jacob Reeves has got a hornet's nest behind him. Clear a path there, Steven, as they work off two.
Yeah, they're starting to get wiggly and jiggly, as you were talking about a little earlier, but I like to call NASRA chaos time with about 7.5 laps to go here. And it's just going to get crazier as we go on towards the end of this race. Everybody's going to be fighting for position. They want that win, and we'll have to see who takes it.
Here they come up the high side again. It's Jeff Merck in the middle lane, now stays in tow. Cody, if you're right now in this position, when do you make your move? When do these guys have to say, okay, I'm done being your teammate, I'm done being your ally, I want to win this race? But it looks like a lot of these guys are just for themselves right now.
Yeah, for sure. I'm not going to spoil anything for you guys, but these cars are actually very hard to move here. So you have to be very strategic. And yep, I'll let you guys go ahead.
Justin Clapper, pole machine, Awolszewski involved. And the caution is out.
Yeah, you can let us know too as well, Cody.
Trouble.
Because it gets a little hard on those replays there, because when they wreck, they kind of just disappear. I think they go tow back to pit road. We don't see them anymore. But let's have a look at that. That was mid-pack too, gentlemen, wasn't it? Took us through that.
Yeah, I think they also just disappearing because you're also working off of my replay file. And it could also be dependent on where I was on the track at the given time. And
yes.
if I was like far back or up front.
You're just
and they were far back or whatever.
Yeah.
Look at this, guys. 3 wide. Up the middle was Brandon Broadfoot and literally got right into the back end. It's a left rear hook. The machine of Brandon Broadfoot in to one of the dual winners last week, Stephen, of Justin Clapper from Concord, and then into the pole car, or at least the outside front row car, if you will. What a tough break there for Andrew Awolszewski. Awolszewski in the 11. And, of course, there you see Burleson and other guys driving Gagliano. They were running in the grass. All this happens here. Late race caution. You set yourself up for a crazy finish now at Daytona, I believe, Stephen Bartlett.
Yeah, the restarts on these are always crazy. And Broadfoot took that middle lane and really crowded that car up above him. And just, you can't do that. You got to leave enough room for everybody to be able to have their space to keep the race going. And he didn't do that. He came up too high and brought out the caution.
Did Brian Chu have the lead of this race?
Under 5 laps to go, by the way. Under 5 to go. Brian Chu is the new leader. Yeah, Brian Chu did what he needed to do to kind of stay out of harm's way. And look at this, man. And I'll tell you what, Cody, I'll bring you back in here before we go to network timeout for our final commercial. Brian Chu has been in these barn burners in Daytona in the past in the world of NASRA, and somehow he comes out smelling like a red rose and he wins.
Yeah, he's actually very good at plate racing. I believe that he's actually several seasons already has locked himself in with a win, and it's usually at like Talladega or Daytona. He's just one of those guys that just excel at plate racing. He understands when to make moves. He understands when to push, when not to push. He understands when to block, when to not block. He understands like how far you can be away from somebody before the run just kills you or you get killed by a run. He's just very good here at plate tracks.
You got a couple of Floridians. Brian Chu from Fort Myers, Florida. Jeff Merck from Punta Gorda, Florida. And they're ready to battle it out here in Daytona, the NASRA Cup Series and the NASRA 250 powered by TLC Incorporated. Get ready. The shootout from the World Center of Racing virtually is on deck next.
In a distant kingdom, in a magical realm, there live people who face dreadful drainage problems on their lawns. For many years, they suffered from puddles and mud in their yards. Until one day, the saviors from TLC Company appeared with their magical shovels and lifted the wet curse from the kingdom's residents. Forget about puddles and mud. With us, your yard will become a genuine fairy tale nook. Call us right now and let's transform your drainage concerns into a magical adventure. TLC, where every home becomes a fairy tale.
Back here at Daytona, 4 laps to go. Welcome back. Thanks to Cody Knott, by the way, for chumming in the booth to avoid being, if you will, what do you call it, harassed, holding the hostage of the broadcast by Beagle's Dean Hopton. He's doing a great job, by the way. And let me explain something to you. Everybody across the country you're running the race on iRacing, obviously. Stephen Bartlett is up in, I believe you said Oregon. He's in Oregon State.
Yes, sir.
I'm in North Carolina. That is about another 3,500 to 4,000 miles across the U.S. of A. You got all across the country in Australia, our buddy Bigglestein Hopton.
Pacific, yeah.
Literally, all across the Pacific.
That's 2/3 of the planet's surface.
So you got
but
3-4 time zones.
Right,
you're on the what?
International Space Station, transmitting this down from there.
See, everything that I said, you're ruining it, Dean. You're ruining everything that I'm trying to say.
Go
It was a united, international effort for us to all come together, even late at night, to do this broadcast.
That's what the international...
There you go.
You called it perfectly. But you're right, Wesley. That is fantastic what technology can do. And
it is.
Undo,
it is.
But it can do.
And Dean, real quickly, as we get ready for a restart, Bud, plug tomorrow night, or technically tonight, Goat Locker Racing, Arc of Thunder.
Yes, I'm looking forward to it, my friend. I'm just going to one fault at a time, per se. Well, I'm enjoying this race. This race has been fantastic. On my end, of course, it's been a bit of a technical nightmare, but we're getting through it, and that's what I love about these gladiators. This has been a really, really, really good race, and it's still going to continue because with 3 to go, my friend, it could go anything. We remember you said we do have the chances of. I'll shut up at the moment. I can't talk and do this at the same time. Green white checkers. That's the one I was looking for. Wes?
All right, lights off on the pace car. I'm just setting the tone for the excitement, if you will. Steven, what's these guys going through right now? What is their mindset as we're getting ready to go into overtime here?
Get to the front. That's everybody's mindset right now. Get to the front. If you can't win it, at least get the some points from finishing the race of those top 10 guys. Of course, the higher up you finish in the standings, the more points you get out of the race points as well.
Believe it or not, they'll be coming to the green flag in the TLC restart zone. It'll be lap 100 officially on the scoring pylon. However, there is 2 laps, green, white checker. They have to take the Darren Snell gun repair 1 to go. If they do not, they get 2 or 3 attempts at any time. If we take the white, next flag ends the race. If it's the white flag, they're racing to the checker. Overtime here for the inaugural NASRA Cup Series at Daytona. Here, and we're back to green. And look at Brian Chu on the outside, Steven, as they go into turn 1.
Yeah, Brian Chu taking that outside. Jeff Merck underneath him on the bottom. And Merck now moving up to the top with Cofield pushing him. And now we got Cofield, or excuse me, Oh, he goes off the track.
Yep, Aaron.
Losing ground. Look at this. That's Holmes. There's also another driver going off the reservation. And somehow they hold it together. That's Shepsis and Veal. And somehow we still stay green. No caution. They're looking for the white flag this time by. Here comes Jeff Merck off of turn 4. 3 wide. The animal, Keith Bradley, in the middle to the line. White flag. This is it. Last time by Dean to win here in Daytona.
Oh, and the flag appeared as well too, Jeff Merck. And maybe I'll see the checkered flag. If Caulfield give a nice push, this is great. Jacob Reeves is in P3. Jackson Wade. Let's see it all pans out. Jeff Merck is going to have a push. I think Jonathan Caulfield may say, it's yours, Merck. It's yours.
And they work the back straightaway. That's, by the way, Jonathan Cofield. Couple of more cars bobbing to the bottom of the double yellow line. We're now making more contact. Schroeder almost for a minute went below the double yellow line, and they went 3 wide. They work into turn number 3 and 4. Jeff Merck, high, wide, handsome, wingman. There's another car sideways, and they're wrecking behind them. Here they come. Now it's down to a trio. Crashing big time off of turn number 4. The field has come unglued. Checkered flag. Cofield to the bottom. He can't get there. And Jeff Merck's the inaugural winner of the NASRA Cup Series here in Daytona. Go Trump. Go Merck. He wins here at Daytona tonight.
He finally got his win. That is so nice to see. You know, we've seen Jeff Burke come so close in the other series. Just can't quite get it done, but he got it done tonight. Congratulations, Jeff.
Wow. And we didn't have the camera for him either to celebrate that victory.
Wow.
Sorry about that, Jeff Merck, but hey, I'm sure you're not even going to be thinking about the camera right now. You're going to be thinking about, you got it done, my friend. You got the race victory. And Jonathan Cofield got to give it to him. Gave him a nice push. And don't forget about our redneck announcer, Jacob Reeves, also gets a podium.
And I'm telling you, what a phenomenal job Jacob Reeves did. Had problems earlier in the race, climbed 23 spots. Jonathan Cofield climbed 34 spots. Jeff Merck, the Punta Gorda Floridian, climbed 32 spots to put himself into the catbird seat on a late race restart. And let me explain as well. Remember, he won earlier tonight in the stage also. Jeff Merck's car, I think he just decided to kind of hang back, if you will. He knew there was a storm brewing. Bartman, you call it NASRA chaos, but when it all ensued in the end, there you see Jeff Merck picks up the win in the first overtime finish here tonight at Daytona.
Yeah, what a race. I mean, yeah, we had the cautions, but it was a clean race. We saw quite a few lead changes, quite a lot of lead changes actually. And again, it was nice to see Jeff finally get that win that he's been looking for.
Stay with us. This was a pre-recorded broadcast from earlier tonight, a delayed broadcast for airing at this time. But big thanks to, of course, Justin White and the NASRA Cup Series for getting post-race interviews. We've got that for you after a quick commercial break with Jeff Merck, Jonathan Cofield, and Jacob Reeves. And look at the rest of the rundown. 37 cars taking the green flag here. And again, I'm looking at just, Jackson Wade, 4th. Matt Holmes, a top 5. Keith Bradley got shuffled out of line there at the end. They're crashing at the end of this race. A lot of good cars taken out in the front. New guys climbing to avoid the wreck in the back. And Dean, that's the chaos that we love. That is NASRA at Daytona. We see these scenarios happen all the time. And there you see another great history moment. Jonathan Cofield helping give a push, if you will, to Jeff Merck until that last lap. And then it's everybody for themselves when they worked into turn number 3.
You're right, Wesley. We're going to hear from those drivers, of course, from a pre-recorded interview. Thankfully that we had that already provided to us earlier in this fantastic league. So we'll get to that after the commercial break. But hey, push comes to shove, right? So I think at some point later on, Caulfield needs to get through to a stage break later on, at least a race victory for the playoffs. Hey, Jeff Merck is going to be able to give one up, isn't he? Because that's what you do for your mates.
7 Serve Pro cautions tonight to wrap up tonight's events here at Daytona. And, Stephen, I want to get your final take on this because we are going to post-race. And, again, Justin White has the interviews with our top 3, and that'll be what Dean will play to close us out tonight. But, man, it was a good race. I think there's a lot of big things that we're watching in the NASRA Cup Series. I think this is a special night, a special show, and the future's bright for what we're going to see coming in the future for this program.
Yeah, if they can continue racing all season like they did tonight, it's going to be a great season. We're going to see a lot of lead changes, a lot of new winners. And again, it's nice to see all these new guys that have come into this league. We've got some of the older guys like Cody Knott and Jeff Merck and some of the others, but it's good to see all these new names out here giving it a go.
Well, people, do not go anywhere. Stay with us. Coming up, the interviews with the top 3 podium. That includes Jeff Merck, Jonathan Cofield. So impressed where Cofield has really improved as a driver as well, man. Getting better and better week in, week out. And obviously, when it is said and done, also the driver of Mr. Jacob Reeves, the redneck announcer. Going to be awesome to hear what he's got to say. They're coming up in our post-race coverage. On behalf of everybody at NASRA, Brady LaBeouf, Cody Dodd, great having him up in the booth for a minute. Bigglestein, Hopton, Stephen Bartlett. It's a late night in the West Coast and the East Coast in North Carolina. This is Wesley Outland. Thank you and yours for joining us at Daytona. Post-race interviews are coming up, and we'll see you next week at Auto Club. Or actually, Homestead, Miami is where we are next week. Homestead, Miami. Stay with us. Interviews after tonight's NASRA 250, powered by TLC Incorporated, here at the Virtual World Center of Racing. Good night and congrats to the Floridian Jeff Merck winning here at Daytona.
Welcome back. Of course, we did a late one. And of course, we have Justin that's given us our driver's interview from earlier. So let's have a listen to our Top Guns, Jacob Reeves, Jonathan Caulfield, and our race winner, Jeff Merck. I think it's the reverse order. So we'll hear from Jacob Reeves first. Down to the interviews, thanks to Justin.
All right, here for top three guys at the end of the race here. Looks like Jacob Reeves finished third. Jacob, give us a brief synopsis of your race and how you finished third today.
Well, Justin, I mean, it was a pretty good race. First part of it was very calm. So we kind of rode at the back. We was kind of waiting for some chaos to happen. It didn't happen. Got up there on stage 2, led a couple laps, and let old Pookie give me a bad bump coming off turn 4, and got rocked in the back end by somebody. And I think we had 4 minutes optional pairs. And how the hell we got back to third? I honestly, I have no idea how we got back, but just really proud to be racing in this, man. I'm telling you, I've been real pumped up to see this NASRA Cup Series up and running, and can't wait for the next couple of weeks.
Yep, we'll switch to a few more cars here coming up. I think next week we run the Gen 6 at Kansas, if I remember correctly. So
Homestead,
there you go, Homestead. So it's definitely going to be a fun time. Well, Jacob, any sponsor shout-outs for us?
Yeah, absolutely. The Door Banging Download, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all our sponsors, Concerns of Police Survivors for Friday night, DSR Electric on Monday nights, Blanchard's Towing for Tuesday nights, you know, the NASRA 360 Racing Network broadcast team, Wesley and Dean and all them, Justin, you for putting this Cup Series on. And one thing I did want to mention, I ran a car last night here on the NASRA 360 Racing Network, an Xfinity car, and it was for miscarriage awareness. So anybody that's been dealing with anything like that, and last night at 7 o'clock when you lit a candle for your angel babies, just know that you got somebody right here in NASRA that done the same thing last night.
All right, 10-4, awesome, good deal. All right, we appreciate you, Jake, and congratulations on P3. Let's shoot over here to our second place finisher, Jonathan Cofield in the 58. Jonathan, walk us through your race and how you finished second.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad of a race. Was gonna fall back like Jake and Jeff did, but right there toward the start of the race, everybody decided to get in a single file line, so I filed in, and the race just kind of played out. tried to keep my nose clean. Had to get down there and cut a little grass to avoid a wreck one time. I think I walked out with only a 4X, but yeah, just trying to stay up front out of all the stuff.
All right, good deal. Well, any sponsors you want to shout out?
Yeah, I want to thank NASRA Esports for letting me come hang out on their team. All the admins in here. Just now joining NASRA, loving every minute of it, running Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesdays right now. SM Racing Products, y'all ain't got a button box, go check them out. Type in Bandits1, save you a little money at checkout. And that's about it.
All right, good deal. All right, congratulations on P2, and we look forward to seeing you race the rest of the season.
Thank you, sir.
All right, let's get to our winner here, the number 60, old Mr. Pookie himself, Jeff Merck. He's our Stage 1 winner as well. Jeff, how'd your race go?
It went good. I had a lot of help from my teammates the whole race. They were always giving me good pushes, even though I gave Jacob a poor one off of turn 4 that one time. And I know how Jake is. He'll probably bring it up in the Friday broadcast if I know him. But yeah, it went real good. Had a stage 1 win, got a win in the race. Had a couple of hairy moments there where one of them was a real big checkup, and he just kept checking up. I was letting out, and I think I got in the back on one of them. Might have turned him, but anywho, I got the win, and I don't know if a win locks you in here for the playoffs or not, but if it did, I got it out of the way early.
Yes, sir, it does. It does. Like our other NASRA, there's a few things that we share, and that is one of them. So a win definitely gets you locked in for the playoffs. So congratulations on that. Any sponsors you want to shout out to us?
Yeah, first and foremost, my loving wife inside. I know it's not a live broadcast, but I always like to thank her for letting me do this. PGR Esports is my primary sponsor on this car. PGR 500, big race that they're going to put on in the third week in January. Go over there. Signed up for that. Brady for bringing me over to NASRA 360 E-Racing, I think is the name of the team. So Brady brought me over here for that for the Cup, NBG Motorsports.
All right, 10-4.
Virtual Daytona for having us.
Yes, sir, absolutely. Well, we appreciate all y'all and appreciate you guys sticking with us and on your top 3 finishes, and Jeff for locking himself into the playoffs for that final push at the end of the season for those 7 races I believe we have for the playoffs. So otherwise, I appreciate y'all, and we'll kick it back up to Wesley and Dean.
Well, thank you very much there, Justin. Wesley and the Steve have left, and that's it for the broadcast this evening. Jeff Merck, Jonathan Caulfield, and Jacob Reeves take the top 3 for the first race of the season for official points after the duels and the qualifying that we had. Thank you all for sticking through everything tonight. Of course, big thanks to the NASRA Network, and big thanks to Justin for the Cup Series, and of course, old Bob out there with the sprinklers. We'll get your sprinklers firing on the flags next week. Good night, everybody. Take care. Stay safe.